We're live. Hey everyone, this is the No Nonsense Podcast. I'm your host, Oscar Montiel, along with my co-host, Naeem Abulahawa. How are you, Naeem?
Very well on this Saturday, July 25th, 2020, right around 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific. I don't know what time it is in Hawaii. But yeah, I'm doing well. It's warm. It's nice outside. It's the coolest day we've had so far, this whole month. If 90 degrees is cool, because yesterday was 98 or whatever. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
You forgot Central Time, by the way, which is seven Central,
7 Central.
six Mountain Time, I guess.
Yeah, I want to go out to Denver.
But anyways, so today's episode is another talking blindness episode. We're wrapping this little mini series up, and with us we have a guest. She's a student at Arizona State University. Michaela Griffin, how are you?
Good. How are you? Also, it's 1:54 in Hawaii. Just so you know.
1:54.
Yeah.
1:54. Wow.
So, Naeem, do you want to, lead us into our little segment? Because I know that I completely forgot what we were going to talk about. I guess I just said talking blindness, but with us wrapping this mini series up. Oh, by the way, some house cleaning rules. I guess I forgot to mention. So I finally got our Twitter page working. I just need to get the link so that I can post it in the description whenever I post new videos. But that probably won't happen until later down the road, so it won't happen for this episode just because I don't have the time and patience to figure out how to get a link for Twitter, because it just took me a long time to get it the first time, just for my own Twitter. Also, we're wrapping up our first season, we like to call it. So it's going to be this is our penultimate episode, or final episode. Our final episode is, what is it, Naeem?
So we're going to have an AMA, an Ask Me Anything. Sibling dynamics. Oh,
sibling
man, I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I think that's going to happen. When did we discuss?
We were saying August 5th?
Let me see
8th,
here.
9th? I
7th?
don't know. August 7th. Okay, August 7th it is.
August 7th. And then our Q&A, which is going to be August 9th, a few days after. So we'll start advertising that stuff either on YouTube or on our podcast, Anchor podcast, whatever you like, Anchor FM.
Yeah, check out anchor.fm to find us there. We set up a nice profile there. And this is not official stuff yet, but I do want to let folks know I plan on starting my own thing, not breaking away from Oscar by any stretch of the imagination, just separately having my own society talk type thing, get into where we're headed politically, socially, just cultural stuff, and the kind of stuff that people don't like to hear because it's always controversial. But I like to dig into controversy. I like to stir the pot, if you will. So I'm gonna have my own thing. I will say it's for mature audiences is how I plan on doing it. Meaning, you better get ready to hear things you're not gonna agree with, and I hope I don't get death threats in the mail. I'll accept hate mail as long as it's not actually threatening. I know that's an internet troll thing, so I'm expecting internet trolls, but I also expect the highest level of respect where possible, please. But we're all adults, so we can all express our opinions and share intellectual discourse where possible. So look forward to that. I don't know when I'm going to get that started. I'm looking for a co-host. So anyone is welcome.
I'll co-host you.
What was that?
I'll co-host you.
It's gonna be. We might get into fights. Is that fine? It's controversial.
Totally.
That's gonna talk about everything from the current political state to cancel culture to where our environment is headed. So
sounds like
global warming and all.
That's gonna
be something I need to join.
That's gonna be something that I'm only. It's gonna be a 3-hour podcast, and I'm gonna watch 10 minutes of it. But anyways, Folks, I'm thinking of breaking out. I just don't know what to talk about. I'm debating on different topics that I can talk about, maybe sports, cybersecurity, technology. I haven't wrapped my brain around it just yet, so I'm thinking of doing the same thing just to up the viewership on my channel. I know that our first 4 episodes are still on my channel, but that channel right now is inactive for the moment until I find content that I could talk about. So yeah.
And needless to say, our duo is not going away. We have a robust second season planned for everyone. We're gonna hopefully get the content creators from Six Blind Kids on, and we hope to bring on other YouTube personalities and content creators where possible, please. And also, I do want to do a quick shout out for a good friend of mine and a really good YouTuber, if I may. Randus, of course. Graham Stefan, you guys got to check him out on YouTube. He's based out in LA, and he has all the financial tips and tricks and real estate and investing and all the stuff to achieve financial independence. And, basically the tools you need in your toolbox, from something as simple as that, the tools you need in your financial toolkit, to something as advanced as, hey, I want to be the next multi-millionaire real estate investor. So there's plenty of content. Go check out Graham Stefan. He's amazing, and he's very explanatory in his content. So it's not like, he uses all the technical jargon and everyone gets lost. No, he definitely simplifies it, and his stuff are quick, 10, 15 minutes a piece. So not like me, where I would probably explain what he explains in 15 and 45. So yeah, if you don't like long-windedness, check him out. So without further ado, I guess we can tear stuff up here. Allow me to ask everyone, I hope our viewers are enjoying a nice beverage or a nice dinner. What is everyone munching on around here? Or has people had dinner yet? Oscar, Michaela?
Michaela, by the way, since you're our guest, you're gonna be the one to respond first for any questions that we post. So.
Today I've had some rice with coconut aminos instead of soy sauce, which I highly recommend if you don't like super high levels of sodium. You can cut down and still enjoy the soy sauce. I discovered it today and it's amazing.
So I already had noodles and company. I had something called the barbecue pork mac, but I don't like the pork aspect of it, so I get meatballs instead. Even though I got played, it wasn't a lot of barbecue, and I like my stuff with more barbecue than.
Do you like chicken?
I haven't tried.
Because Noodles and Company has chicken mac.
Oh, true.
Which is really good.
True. I should try that.
It's so good.
I just got my Grubhub dinner order here. It's probably gotten cold, but it doesn't make a difference. I eat stuff cold. I want to shout out Pizzaroni. It's a nice place up the street here. I got me a nice slice of pizza and an orange soda.
Pizza.
Yeah, trying to cut down the portions, not trying to eat a whole pizza, so I got me a slice. And yeah, I mean, keeping it real, it's the good old-fashioned cheese pizza, so I'm not getting too crazy on y'all. Usually
so
I do,
like
however.
Me.
Yeah,
You've
usually
been like me today.
Yeah, but sometimes just the good old-fashioned cheese, sometimes it hits the spot,
Oh, yeah. So you didn't get like no vegetables on it, because I know that you don't mind Supreme. Oh wait, I forgot you guys can't have.
I can't deal with Supreme pizza.
Yeah, no, I love putting all kinds of things, but today I was just feeling simple. It's rare that I feel simple, so I said let me change it up around here for once. So I'm gonna be munching on that here in a few minutes, maybe, or eventually when I get around to it. And yeah, so this is really good. I look forward to hearing our ideal ice cream sundae stories eventually.
Oh.
But I think didn't we already have this discussion on the Mumbo Jumbo episode? Yeah, we already had this discussion with other guests on that Mumbo Jumbo episode. Michaela, you should really check that out. It's literally every conversation that you can think of
Oh gosh.
covered
We
in
went
2 hours
from
and
wedding
20 minutes.
songs to
No, we went from talking politics to talking about weddings to ice cream topping. It's just a bunch of
It
conversations.
sounds like me in conversation with my friends. Like 1 minute we're talking about, politics, and the next minute it's, what hair shampoo do you like?
Speaking of which, I want
Are
to
you
shout out
asking me
that.
to tell you my ideal ice cream sundae? Is that what's happening?
Oh
Yeah,
go
totally. Let's
ahead.
hear it. Let's hear it.
Yeah, since we didn't have you on that episode,
I'm
come to
going to
think of
cheat
it.
this system. I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't have ice cream. So I'm going with a fudge brownie instead.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's
But
crazy.
can't
Speaking
you?
of
But can't you
lactose intolerance.
sorbet though, or sorbet?
Lemon sorbets are so good. It's the only sorbet I've ever tried. I want to try mango sorbet.
Mango mousse is real good. Now that's out of this world good. I remember
I remember you made
Oscar.
something similar to it.
I made a
For your
mango
meal.
mousse. Yeah, I made a mango mousse and I made a rice pudding. And I decided, you know what? I don't want them separate, so I'm gonna
Oh
combine
God!
them. And it was like a mango rice pudding heaven. But I remember Mike Fish, a tech instructor at the Blindness Skills Training Center we were at, had come back for seconds and thirds. So I knew I did something right by someone. What
You
were
know
your
what's-
thoughts? Or
you-
did you get dessert, Oscar?
So
that
you
day?
know what's horrible, Naeem?
Horrible.
I guess I don't know if it was because after your meal I was like, there's nothing for me to do here, and plus you were kind of busy, so I knew that me sticking around wasn't gonna help your case with finishing up your tasks sooner. So and plus I was a guest at the time. Remember, I graduated like what 2 weeks before you had your meal, so like I had no I couldn't pull it with Sonia or whoever was dorm staff and staff there at the time. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna stay with Naeem until
11 at night.
until 11 at night. So like, and don't mind me, I'm just gonna crash in your room or whatever.
Well, we could have pulled off something because remember the time
Because I'll tell you what happened. Because
What
I
happened?
remember I'm like, you know what? If I get home sooner, because I remember I had booked I think it was like
The
the
Amtrak
7 o'clock, the 7:30 Amtrak from Richmond down back to Woodbridge, I think, or Alexandria. And I'm like, okay, I'll get home at like 9. But I think that because you were so busy and stressed out with your meal, that I'm like, you know what? This guy has enough to worry about. I'm just gonna, I already had like a good filling meal. So I'm just gonna, just go ahead and leave early. So I left, like, I made it to the Amtrak, like at 5, or like, it was like 4:30 or 5 o'clock. Can't remember. And then I just
What is
asked
Amtrak?
the train company.
Oh.
So I was like, hey, I'm trying to go back up to Alexandria or Woodbridge early. Is there a train? They're like, yeah, there's a 5:15 train. I'm like, okay, awesome. And they're like, oh, there's other like blind folks going back up there. So, if you want to travel with them, that's fine too. I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely fine with me. I'm fine with that. Traveling buddies. But then like tragic struck because I guess someone decided, or I don't know, again, I don't want to, make anything controversial, but I don't know how this happened. Someone jumped in front of the train and the train ran them over. So we were stuck on the train for an extra hour and a half, like when we were like close to my neck of the woods. We were supposed to get back to Alexandria like at 7:30. I didn't get home until like 11 at night because again there was just a huge holdup. And I was thinking, that meal that I ate at Naeem's grad meal or whatever was gonna hold me up for the rest of the night. I was hungry after that. It was good that my family actually had a barbecue type thing when I got home because I was hungry when I came back because it was like I find myself like, okay, we're like half an hour away from the train station that I need to get off at, and then the whole entire accident happened and we were stuck there for like an extra 2 hours. So it was just ridiculous. I'm like, I want to go home And plus, my mom was actually freaking out because she misinterpreted what I said. I remember I was telling her, I'm like, hey, the train's gonna, the train has stopped because someone, committed suicide. The train ran over someone or whatever. My mom interpreted it as, oh my gosh, you jumped off the train and the train hit you.
Oh, wow.
I was like, Mom, do you think that if I was run over by a train, I would be texting you right now? So, like, she was blowing up my phone, and my phone was about. And here's the thing. So I learned I learned a lesson from that, from that trip. First off, when you go somewhere, always take your charger with you. Don't leave it at home because you never know your circumstances.
Yeah.
So, because I remember she was blowing up my phone, like everyone was calling me. They're like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Stop calling me. My phone's about to die out. I don't have a charger." So that's the main lesson that I gathered. Is never leave your charger. Like if you leave home, just always bring it with you because you never know. But Naeem, I know that you probably muted yourself because you don't like interrupting. So
always have a charger and always have a water bottle. And if you live in Arizona, make it a frozen water bottle because by the time you're ready to drink it, it'll be melted.
No, true. Like the people that I was traveling with that lived up in Alexandria, like the next town over, they were like, I guess like they were old ladies. So like one of them was like knitting. She was like, oh, I'm just gonna here and knit myself a sweater or something like that. I remember. I'm like, are you gonna get freaked out because you can't go home? She was like, no, I don't care. I'm just gonna put my book on, like my audio book on, so that way I can start knitting. And that's what she ended up doing. She listens to like an audio book and then she started knitting.
I've always wanted to learn how to knit. Seems like an activity that I could get down. It's very tactile.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a lot. You have to have a lot of patience.
Yeah. I tend to have a lot of patience with menial tasks like that. Not with people.
But that was my main train experience, being stuck on it for like an extra 2 hours.
That's crazy. We don't even have trains. We have a light rail. We don't have trains though.
So you guys don't have. Oh man, ow! This hurts. This hurts a lot.
Are you okay? What's happening?
Let me mute myself. 1 second. This is painful.
That's funny. I mean, have you ever been in the train or metro or?
I've been in the metro. When we went to Washington D.C., we took the metro everywhere.
Metros are awesome.
Yeah. So
metros are scary.
Is that better? Hello. Am I better now? I could be heard now, right?
Yeah. Naeem, yeah. What is your most memorable train/metro moment, like memory?
And then I'll tell you mine.
Yeah. So I think I wanted to just say, so I'm pretty sure you guys out in Arizona probably have some train that travels from like Phoenix to Tucson, for example, or Phoenix to Flagstaff, or Phoenix.
We have the big charter buses that do the Flix buses.
Oh, like those Greyhound type things.
So yeah, and so I remember when I was like looking up stuff to Arizona like 2 years ago or something like that. I remember like the nearest thing that I would get would be like a bus stop. Like the train would I would have to ride the train up to a certain point in California or something, and then ride like a bus all the way up to that bus stop to Phoenix, and then take another bus. And I'm like,
the transportation here leaves quite a lot to be desired.
It's not. I'm like, I'm not gonna take a 3 day, because I remember it would take me like 3 days. I'm like, I'm not taking a 3 day trip to Arizona on train.
Heck no.
Yeah. I hashtag Republican governance. No. Anyway, that was unnecessary. Yeah, I will say my most memorable one was I took an Amtrak train from, where was I going? I was going somewhere tasty. Where
Baltimore?
was I?
Baltimore? Were you going to Baltimore?
I remember the time I got jumped in Baltimore. I didn't even think of that one. I was thinking of the one I went from Richmond to up here to Northern Virginia to Alexandria train station with Oscar and a good friend of ours, who's Johanna. Don't tell her, I almost forgot her name.
I don't keep in contact with her, so your secret's safe with me.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm gonna tell her. I'm just kidding. I have no idea who this person is.
We were messaging back and forth the other day, and I was reviewing my messages. I noticed every time I say hi, I don't say hi and then name, just in case I forget the person's name. So I always just say hi when I begin a message. So yeah, Johanna, if you're listening to this, so sorry. I'll find a way of making it up to you somehow. I don't know. Maybe I'll write your name in the next text message I send to you. Who knows? So
wait a second. Was this the train ride that you kind of overslept at your stop, or was this another train ride? Because I remember you telling me one time that you ended up falling asleep on that train and you missed your stop and you ended up going to DC instead of Alexandria.
No, that was actually another time, but I remember that time. That was another time. Oh my gosh, man, that was crazy.
You
I
had
went
some
to DC,
nuts
which is not
train
far.
experiences.
Oh, I have a crazier one than this one. But this one was, I remember Oscar and Johanna, for some reason, I pulled an all-nighter. And they were trying to keep me up so I wouldn't miss my stop.
That was horrible.
You guys were trying to keep me up so I won't miss my stop. And I'm like, oh, I barely can stay awake. This hurts. I just want to fall asleep. And it's like my eyes are burning. And they're all like red and bulging out. I look like I had smoked like 16 pounds of weed or something. Like my eyes were a mess. And oh man, it was crazy. But I was like trying to stay awake, and I had already had like a bout or two of syncope that night because I had drank way too much Diet Coke. Was it Diet Coke? What was it, Oscar? It was Diet something that went.
Yeah, it was Diet Coke because of the freaking vending machines were never specific.
Yeah, so we got what we got, and I remember I got like 2 bottles or something because I was thinking it would keep me up. It just made me feel nasty.
Oh yeah,
I was all like gritting my teeth, like I was withdrawing from drugs or something.
No, yeah, I remember that your syncope kicked in, and like
caffeine and syncope don't get along.
I had to like slap you awake or something.
Yeah, I was knocked out for a while. It was probably one of my longest bouts of syncope. But
you've had some pretty long ones with me.
Yeah.
You had a 20-minute episode once.
I don't know how long this took, because I remember I was gone for like, I think it was like 5 or 10 minutes, because I think I went to go do something in the laundry room. And then next thing you know, I come back. I'm like, hey, Naeem. Like, I'm back. And like, there was no response. I'm like, did he leave? And I was looking around. But then like, I feel like something like on the chair that I have there, that I had there right near the door. I'm like, oh, Naeem is right there. I'm like, Naeem, are you okay? And I'm like, Naeem, are you okay? And there was no response. I'm like, this guy probably fell asleep. But I can tell when he's either asleep. Like, I didn't know what it was. I'm like, Naeem, are you fine? Like, no response. I think I had to I slapped you or something to get you up.
Yeah, I can't remember. Obviously, I can't remember because I wasn't conscious, right? But I can't remember. All I remember is you were like, yo, man, you're good. I'm like, yeah, what's up, man? Like, I remember it was like late at night. It was 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
but anyway, that train
Michaela,
ride later on that morning.
At our adult program, we had something where we couldn't be in other people's room after 10 p.m. on the weekdays.
Yeah, we had that.
They acted like it was a prison, and we were all over 18. It was weird.
So we broke that rule so many times.
Mm-hmm.
Because we'd be cooking and eating till like midnight, and by the time we clean up, it's like 1 or 2 easily.
I broke every possible rule you could possibly choose to break at my summer program that I'm not going to say the name of. But yeah, I broke every rule.
Yeah, no, I mean, this wasn't like a rule that we broke to be, disrespectful or uncourteous. It was just like, why does it matter? We're adults.
It was an early train. It was going to be an early. Like, I don't know why I ended up joining that train ride, because I remember you and Johanna were like, Johanna wanted to, or this person wanted to, I gotta stop dropping people's names, man. That's something I gotta get better at. But I guess the cat's out of the bag now.
Shout out to Johanna.
Yeah, shout out to Johanna. So I remember that, I don't know, she was talking to you about riding the train because I guess she never rode the train like ever. So you volunteered. I'm like, hey man, if you're gonna ride the train and if you're not gonna be here for classes tomorrow, then I might as well just go home early myself. So I let all the staff know for my classes that I'm like I'm going home early Friday, so I won't be here. Blah blah blah. And I remember I purchased a train ticket that same day. I called up Amtrak. I'm like trying to buy a train ticket. A train ticket to Woodbridge, please. And they're like, and I paid up, and I just ended up going with you guys. But I told you, I was like, hey man, let's just pull an all nighter, man. Just so that way I don't have to go the trouble to wake you up.
Things not to do when you have syncope. Number 1, pull an all nighter.
Oh no, I remember. I've only pulled all nighters twice in my life. Once there in Richmond, and the other time in Florida. Never.
My entire life is a one big long all nighter because I have non-24 syndrome. So there you go. It's not fun. You need lots of caffeine.
Oh man, I remember. Oh no, I lied. I remembered I actually pulled another all nighter, but I was talking to a friend at the time, so I was like.
Did you ever have to pull all nighters to do school assignments? Because that's when I've had to pull all nighters. Is for school.
So the latest I've gone to sleep when I've had to do homework was 3 a.m.
No, God, no. For me, it's still working on the bus on the assignment that I've been working on all night, until I get to school. Boom, it's turned in. That was me in high school.
If I just was just so tired, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna type up a few sentences here and there at 3 a.m. or whatever. I'll wake up. I'll get some shut eye, get some sleep, and then I'll wake up in a few hours, wrap up the assignment. That's what I ended up doing once. Just fell asleep from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. Woke up.
I've done that before.
Finished the homework assignment.
Or sometimes I would set my alarm for 3 a.m. and wake up at 3 a.m. to do my
I
homework.
remember I had to for college. I had for I think it was a psychology assignment. I think I forgot to do that paper just because I was just so busy with other work that I'm like, oh man, I need to write this psychology paper up. And I remember I whipped it out and I whipped out a 3-page essay in 30 minutes.
I want that talent. It took me forever to write my 3-page essay. And unfortunately, I chose to do it at the last minute.
But anyway, sorry to interrupt, Naeem. Anyways, what was your story? I know that you muted yourself again.
Okay, so I mean, no, I remember there was and there's never a need to to apologize. There's no etiquette around here. Have fun, just dive into the conversation. Pardon me, by the way, I am sitting here munching on pizza, so
enjoy your
me.
Pizza.
So basically, what I was
okay?
saying was
What is wrong with you now?
Something's going down well today. Got a frog up in my throat. Painful one, must I add.
Oh, and here's the cat. Simba's joining the podcast.
Welcome. So, I was, I was,
Need some help?
Damn, I'm having a Biden moment right now. Can't think of what I wanted to say. If you're going to become President Joe Biden here in November, please don't get mad at me for saying that. Now, if you aren't going to become president, I don't care if you get mad.
So you were talking about trains. You had a train story with you and Oscar and John.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So, yeah, they were trying to keep me awake, and it was really horrible and terrible. But I think the better one was the one Oscar had reminded me of.
Oh, no, he wants in.
I had been returning from Baltimore because I went to an NFB function in Baltimore, National Federation of the Blind. Their headquarters in Baltimore. And I was heading home. So this, what was it, 2017? Good friend of mine who was actually on one of our previous episodes, Miss V Gaspa. I was bidding her farewell. She had the internship there. I was like, okay, V, I'll see you around. Bye. Hop in this cab. Everything's going good. the guy is sitting here talking to me in the cab, and he's like, so you from around here? I'm like, no, I live in Northern Virginia. He's like, oh, from where in Northern Virginia? Because I used to live down there. I'm like, I live in Vienna, 22182 zip code, so not too far from McLean. He's like, oh, so the Republican part of Northern Virginia. I'm like, basically. And he's like, yeah, the white Republican part. I'm like, I'm not gonna comment on race because I don't know, I don't know who you are. I'm not gonna participate in race discussions with a random taxi driver. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, I live in Northern Virginia, yes. And he's like, he just said the weirdest thing, which gave me the creeps. He had said, did you ever live in the Skyline Plaza apartments? I'm like, yeah, when I was a baby. Why do you ask? He's like, I think I know you.
Oh
I'm
God!
like,
Oh God.
mind you, I don't know this guy at all. Like he's obviously a creep, right? And he's like
Clearly.
talking in that creepy, like, I want to bet his name is like Herbert, And he's like, yeah. So you lived there in the 90s. I'm like, I was born in 98. So he's like, so anyway, I've tried to divert the conversation. So he starts asking me about my voiceover, which was going off on my phone. And I'm like, yeah, VoiceOver is a screen reader for the blind to comprehend what's being said on the screen for Apple devices and iOS and OS and all that stuff. He's like, okay, sure. So we pull up and he claims we're at the train station. I'm like, all right, bet. Thank you, man. Thank you for dropping me off at Baltimore Penn. Back I go to Richmond. Everything is good. Everything's hunky-dory. He grabs me by the neck.
Oh my
And
God!
he's like, we can make this easy. Or we can make this hard. I don't want anyone to get hurt. Hand over the phone now. I'm like, the only thing that's going through my mind is I don't know if this guy has got a gun in his glove compartment. I'm just going to give him this phone. And mind you, this was 2017, so I was much younger at the time. I was like 18. No,
Yeah.
how old was I in 2019? So
I was
like, I was not gonna fight with the guy. I'm like, okay, you want the phone? Here, take the phone. It's funny because he let me go with my laptop and everything. He just wanted the phone. And mind you, you want to hear something crazy? Well, I'll get to the end of the story. Otherwise, I'll spoil the story if I tell you something crazy now. So I give him the phone. I'm like, fine, you want my voiceover phone? I mean, help yourself. I don't know what to tell you, man. And then it didn't hit me. It kind of have you ever been in a situation where you're just numb? So it just happened. I'm like, okay, that just happened. As soon as I walk into the train station, it hit me. I was like, bro, a guy just physically attacked me and stole my phone. Like, WTF, it processed, it clicked.
wow.
And I walk up to the lady at the desk. I'm like, hey, you guys got train station police or stuff? She's like, yeah. Is there a complaint? I'm like, I think I just got jumped, man. And she was like, okay, let's. And you're saying I think because you're still processing it as a human. You're not like,
Right.
this is the first time it's happened to me. So I go back, and mind you, it's broad daylight. It's 9 a.m. I'm basically suit and tie type look. You know what I mean? It's it's a professional environment. I wasn't in some crack neighborhood. It was, and I'm not making any classism statements when I say that, but it's more common that something would happen around a heavily
In the hood.
yeah, exactly. So
By the
I
way,
think
Naeem, I got
yeah.
a lessons learned for you, not for next time, but continue your story because I got a lesson to learn
the
for.
lesson. I'd love to learn the lesson. I can
We love learning lessons.
yeah, especially in these situations. So it was it was the only place that shouldn't have happened at. 9 a.m. in the morning, going in a yellow cab to a
9
train
a.m. in the morning.
station, wearing a suit and tie, just minding my own, right? And he just wanted the phone. He knew what he wanted. He didn't want no laptop. He didn't want no cash. He didn't want nothing. He just wanted the phone, which is actually a little more odd, given the fact that he was asking where I lived way back when. So, I don't know, some Russian hacker. Maybe Hillary Clinton was right after all. So I tell the police everything that happened, and the guy's like, well, I'm sorry, sir. I just don't know that we can really do much for you because it seems like he's gone. It sounds like you're telling me you have an iPhone SE. I'm like, I don't care if it's a $600, $700 phone. I don't care that it's one of the cheaper models of iPhone. What I care about is a man laid his hand on me and he thought he can get away with it with a blind person. Who knows, another blind guy hop in his cab, he does it all over again. Like, I was like, I'm not concerned with the phone. I would love my phone back, but I'm not concerned. I had a backup phone at the time. I had like a burner phone. Phone I used to do all my drug deals on. No,
Oh God.
you always got to have a backup phone. So I was lucky I had a backup phone. So I was able to contact everyone. Now, granted, I got back to Richmond. The guy in Baltimore, basically the cop shunned me. He said, we can't do anything for you, whatever. We have bigger crimes to deal with, like the homicides that happen every night in Baltimore. And I'm like, well, you guys probably have a petty theft unit. I don't know what they call them, but I don't think they call them petty theft unit. But I mean, that was assault more than theft. And and so I get back to Richmond, and I call my parents to let them know, everything's good. I left out the detail that I was physically assaulted because they don't see me, they don't know where I am, so they might think I'm all bruised up and black-eyed and everything, so I don't want to scare them. It's just he had choked me really hard. That's all, but he didn't actually like physically like break my nose or anything, So I didn't tell them any of that. I just told them, hey, a guy just like swiped my phone. And, since I didn't tell them the details, at first they thought I was dumb. They were like, how did you let him swipe your phone just so casually? Like,
yeah, because didn't you say
obviously,
that it
'cause
slipped out of your pocket at some point?
Yeah.
that's what I told them. Because I wasn't going to tell them I just got choked by some random.
That's what you told me. So that's why I kind of have lessons learned for you already prepared and good to
Yeah,
go.
I mean, I wasn't going to tell people, yo, I just got beat. The only person who knew, and it was only one person who knew, and she didn't even know till a little later, was my older sister. I told her, I was like, yeah, I was actually physically assaulted. And then she's like, yeah, you got to tell mom that. So I told her, and my mom's like, well, I'm glad you're fine now, but you should have taken further action. Point of the matter is, like 2 or 3 days later, I call back Yellow Cab because I'm a file a complaint. If this isn't going to be a criminal investigation, at least I get the guy, get his ass fired. Pardon me. So and I hate to take jobs out of people's hands, but he can't just think he could like physically assault people and grab their phones. That ain't cool.
This person deserves to be out of a job for life and die.
Yeah. So I call him. I call Yellow Cab. I mean, I'm like, this happened, and the lady on the phone, she's like, all right, I'm gonna speak to the driver and hear his side of the story. Well, okay, rightfully so. She's got to hear his side of the story, right? And then I call back a day later to check what's happened, and she's like, same young lady. She's like, I got a phone here, but I can't determine it's yours until you give me explanation how it looks. I'm like, honestly, I don't know. It's a black case. It's a small iPhone SE, but it should have a voiceover, a screen reader. She's like, okay, fine. Could you give me your password at the time? I said, okay, yeah. My password is 9635, which is the end of the birth year for my older sister, and then the end of the birth year for my grandmother. So I told her it was 9635. I would have done 963569 because my mom was born in 1969, but I didn't know at the time how to make a 6-digit passcode. I only knew how to do a 4-digit one. So it was 9635. And she said, oh, well, it unlocked. And I'm okay. And the gentleman, is he going to face consequences? She's like, well, that's company protocol. We can't talk about that. But I will send you your phone back. So I highly doubt. I think at worst he got a slap on his wrist and he continued about his job. I think they brokered some deal with him, give back the phone. And I don't know. It seemed so weird how it had happened that I just got my phone back and it was the right phone and everything. Like, he didn't just give it back out of the willingness of his heart, unless the only other explanation, which a good friend of mine brought up, was maybe he was on some like drugs or something, like some hallucinogenic mushrooms or something, and he'd envisioned something and realized when he was sobered up that he had done something wrong. I'm like, but still, he's got to face consequences. So I don't know. I can't say with certainty that Yellow Cab let him go or didn't let him go. All I know is they said they can't answer that question for me, which I respect. They got company protocol. But
I love that you're such a nicer person than me. I would have demanded. I would have gotten lawyers on their asses. Shit would have gotten insane.
It's funny because my parents were all out. They're like, we got to do this litigation. I'm like,
I would have.
I got my phone back. I mean, I should have to set a precedent, to set an example, because God knows who else he would have tried to pull that on. But I hope the fact that he got caught scared him enough, you know. I don't
So
know
lessons that I think you should gather from this, Naeem.
Okay.
Because I know that you're a suit and tie type of guy.
Hmm.
So first things first, when you're in a cab, don't be on your phone or don't use your phone on a cab, of course. Because not saying anything, but those like old like cab like companies like Yellow Cab, Napoleon for those people that are in Richmond. No disrespect, all those. No disrespect, but those are for people that are trying to make a living. So you don't know how desperate people can become. So try not to use your technology or anything in their car, just because you never know. First lesson. Second lesson,
Simba
if you have
agrees.
so if you have a coat pocket, if you're wearing a jacket or what have you, instead of putting your phone in your pants pocket, put it in your coat pocket. Your coat, even though on the outside there probably isn't a pocket, but on the inside of your coat there should be. You just put it in there so that way no one can, if they try to go for your coat pocket on the outside, they will never be able to get it on the inside unless you're actually just frozen in fear. And because by that time, if you have it in the inside coat pocket, then you have the with wherewithal. I hope that you would get out of the car, run into the train station, and say, "Hey, I was assaulted or molested or what have you."
I will say, duly noted, by the way, thank you for these 2 slices of advice. But I will say, I think in this case, obviously you have to have a first for everything, right? And it was a good experience to have. I don't wish it upon anyone, but I think it was something else. I think it was mental instability because some of the comments he made, like I said, were a little like stalker-ish, creepy.
Again,
like,
you don't.
yeah.
Again, that's why I'm telling you. And secondly,
I didn't know if he was on something. He could have been on one of them hard drugs. I can't say for certain. I don't want to accuse the guy. I could be totally wrong. Maybe he's an innocent, humble family man. But
that attacked a blind kid and stole his phone. Yeah, what an innocent family man.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But I mean, if you want to get into the philosophy, he gave me the option whether I wanted to give him the phone. I chose to give him the phone because he had his hand on my neck, and I didn't want to take the risk of him having anything else in his glove
That's
compartment.
a smart path. That's a smart thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, but like for
Would
next
have done
time,
the same thing.
if you're wearing a jacket or anything, make sure it's on the inside coat pocket or whatever.
And like, don't use it. Yeah.
And,
I don't worry about the semantics, but what I do wonder is why I had my laptop slung on my shoulder. He didn't care for that. I wonder what he needed out of the phone. Maybe he was trying to get some bank information or something. I don't know. But it never seemed like he figured out how to turn off voiceover. Poor guy. Because voiceover was still on. And the young lady at Yellow Cab was asking me how, and I told her you have to double tap and stuff. So she had a time. She's like, "Why is the screen black?" I'm like, "Oh, it's just like that."
See, that's why I always am like, if someone ever wanted to rob my phone or steal my phone, I would just laugh and be like, "Okay, good luck figuring it out." Especially with an XR.
Funny?
So you know what I find amazing. So I guess it's my story time. Even though I didn't get my phone stolen. But so this is what happened with me. So I remember it was my first semester at Nova, and my family would always pick me up because I lived like 7 minutes away off of the Woodbridge campus. So they would always pick me up and drop me off. So I remember I hop into I text my brother. I'm like, "Hey, I need you to pick me up." And I think at the time he used to work at he used to work at Amazon at night, so he would be all cranky and angry and whatever. So whenever he would pick me up, he would be cranky. I would try to talk to him, and he would be like, "Man, don't talk to me right now. I can't believe I have to pick you up." Type conversations. So I hop into the car. I don't know what happened because I remember I had my phone in my pocket. But somehow, for some weird reason, when I hop into the car, I check my pocket. I'm like, let me see if I have my phone here. And I thought my phone slipped out of my pocket and fell like underneath the seat, because sometimes that does happen. I'm like, oh, if it probably fell like under the seat, so I'll probably get it once I get out of the car, when I get at home or whatever, when I go home or whatever. So we go home, and I'm trying to find my phone, and my brother's like, "What are you looking for?" I'm like, "I'm looking for my phone. Do you see it underneath the seat or whatever?" No, I don't. He was like, "No, I don't see it anywhere, man. Like, where did you have it?" I'm like, "I had it when I walked into the car, so it must have slipped out. Like, it has to be here somewhere." And he's like, "It's not here." He was like, because he was a jerk, because he was kind of being a jerk again, because I understand it. So he was kind of like in the deepest of sleep, and he's a night worker, so like during the day he would sleep. So he was like, "Well, don't want to be a jerk, but say goodbye to your phone, because you're never gonna see that again." I'm like, "Oh crap!" And my dad comes home. He's like, "What are you guys doing?" I'm like, "We're looking for my phone." And he was like, "We should go back to Nova and see where it is." So I actually thought of a good idea to see where, if anyone picked it up, to see where, because I had the tracker on it to find my iPhone. So I remember I logged onto my Mac, because I remember I had the Mac with me, and I logged on to like find my iPhone, and my dad says, "Yeah, it says it's right here, like near the Nova campus, so it should be on Nova." So I guess, I don't know how this happened, but I don't know if a cop picked it up, and I guess my brother decided to call my phone to see if it was at Nova, and one of the cops picked it up. And it's funny, because I have my brother, but under a different name. I don't have him under, John or Omar, or, just brother or whatever. I have him under like a nickname that I used to call him as a kid. And so I as a kid, I used to call him Chip for some weird reason. I don't know why. Like, so I put that's his contact name on my phone, Chip. So I guess the cop that picked up my phone picked up the call, and he was like, "Hello?" And my brother was like, "Hello? Like, this I'm trying to see if this I was wondering, I'm calling my brother's phone or whatever." My brother sent it. He's like, "Is this Chip?" And then my brother was taken aback. He was like, "Oh, I can't believe Oscar did that to me. I can't believe he put that nickname on his contact."
Oh God, that's funny.
So then when
This is
I go
why
to
I don't have anyone down as contacts.
So when I go to the police, like the Nova police station, wherever they're stationed at on the Nova campus, I'm like, "Hey, I'm here to pick up my phone." They're like, "What's your brother's name?" And I'm like, "Chip." And they're like, "Here you go."
Oh my God. Chip. This is why I'm glad I don't have siblings.
Yeah, I have my siblings. So funny enough, my younger sister Ines, I finally saved her as a contact yesterday. I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, because I was just sitting around and I said, "I have her number. I know her number by heart. I have it memorized. But let me just save it as a contact just cause." And it's just funny because I've been messaging her back and forth on this phone for 3 years. By the way, the phone in my hand is the same phone from the Yellow Cab experience. That's how long I've had my iPhone SE.
Oh my God, you really need a new phone.
See, here's my philosophy. I come from the anti-consumerist point of view. I believe something should be used till it's really non-functional. It's like once my shirts start to fade, that's when I get rid of them. Once my shoes start to fall apart, that's when I get rid of them. And it's not like a sense of being frugal.
I'm in the same boat, but
not when it comes to phones, because I
Yeah.
need up-to-date technology, because I literally use my phone for everything from school to memes. Like,
Yeah, no, I'll tell you. There's a few things I splurge on. So there are a few things, and when I splurge hard. So it's either splurging hard or not splurging at all.
You splurge hard on food. Yeah, that's good.
Well, the good food, like the food that you gotta enjoy, like like Barclay Prime in Philadelphia, they've got a $120 cheesesteak, but it's worth it. You got some of the best cuts of steak and some of the finest cheeses and some truffle oil. I don't know that that's your thing, Michaela, because it's mushroom.
Definitely not. No.
But it's like some of the finest stuff, and it cashes in at 120. It's funny because I got into a little debate with my mom about that the other day. She's like, you could make the same thing. Just go get the groceries and make it at home. I'm like, yeah, but I mean, they do it for you. Why go through the stress? And you're gonna end up cashing out at around $95 to $100 anyway.
Yeah, good point.
You're just paying the extra $20 so you don't have to go through the effort.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, I do love to splurge when it comes to food, vacations. I also enjoy there are some things I enjoy. Like I will tell you, I am actually right now, the new thing I'm saving up for is some horses. Trying to buy me a few horses.
Because
pick
that's
up some
practical.
land somewhere. It's fun, but it's I have a little fund for it. So what I mean by a little fund is I'm dedicating a certain small percentage of my income.
Is it a regular horse or guide horse?
No, I don't know. So we read this article about in our blindness skills training days, learning how to navigate Word documents. I guess it was like a lesson about guide horses and how some people, instead of using guide dogs, they use guide horses. By the way, folks, look forward to an episode in season 2 where we're going to bring on guide dog users and guide dog owners to talk about their experiences handling guide dogs.
I wanted a guide dog so badly this summer, but the coronavirus made that not happen.
Potential returning guest for that episode, by the way, is Michaela. By the way, that's another. So we talked about crazy train and lost phone experiences. Unless Michaela, do you have any experience before I ask the next travel experience or whatever?
Yeah, I know you had something about a train or phone. By the way, you said Crazy Train. So can I shout out Crazy Train Enterprises, please? We'll have Crazy Train Enterprises CEO Ozzy Carson on a future episode in season 2, and he'll be talking about his experience in Chopped. Obviously, there's some contract obligations, so he can only tell us so much. But he did make it to the final round of Chopped, and now he's got a nice food truck business, and he's cranking out some of the best food in Richmond, Virginia. So all those down in Richmond, Virginia, find Crazy Enterprises and say hi to Ozzy for me. He loves himself some good Ozzy Osbourne, so Crazy Train, I think, is an Ozzy Osbourne song or album or something. But anyway, and he looks exactly like him, oddly enough. His real name is not Ozzy,
Jeff.
but since he resembles Ozzy Osbourne, he calls Ozzy. I won't announce his real name because that really gets under his skin. But yes, we will have.
I know that gets under his skin, but I do it to poke fun. His name is Chef Jeff.
Chef Jeff. Yeah, he really hates that.
That's funny.
But anyways, Michaela, do you have any crazy
Ozzy and
last? Oh yeah, name keeps on cutting out.
We love that. It's gonna mute you. I'm just kidding. My crazy travel experience was. Well, I'm not as much of a seasoned traveler as the two of you. I wish I was.
Well, I'm just here and there, but I'm gonna tell you right now. I've never, believe it or not, Michaela, National Convention in Florida was actually the first time I've flown in a plane by myself.
Yeah, same. It was the first time I did it without my mom.
But I'll get into that. I'll get into my experience after you tell yours or whatever. So.
Yeah. I was at an internship at a music therapy clinic, and we had and this was like when I was very first learning how to, travel. I was so little. And the service that we were using, I don't know if y'all have paratransit out there, but it's like
Yeah, we do.
Okay, it's a nightmare. And I was in the lower level of the the place, and we were doing like a music therapy session, like a rock band session, and so obviously I wasn't keeping track of time, and I didn't realize I had no service in there, so I didn't get the paratransit call, and I missed my paratransit ride, and that was a whole nightmare and a half. I didn't end up getting back to the program until like 8 o'clock because of how long it took them to be able to come back and get me. It was such a nightmare.
I don't have paratransit just because in the part of Virginia that I live in, they don't offer it. But I hear that dealing with that is. Whew.
No, it's not fun. And then
You
my
have
last
to-
phone experience.
You have to be there on time. You have to either be there early, be there
You
on
have to
time.
be there
but there's-
30 minutes. You have to basically set aside an entire hour for a pickup window because you essentially have to be there 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after your pickup.
Yeah,
It's awful.
that's what I heard. But anyways, phone experience.
Phone experience was literally just me being stupid. And I was using my phone in class, and it was piano class, of all, all classes. Well, it was because
I love the piano though. I can play the piano.
Can you?
I'm a little rusty though. It's been almost a little over a decade.
Oh my gosh. Music therapy majors have like guitar and piano classes and vocal classes. Anyhow, so I was in piano class, and my professor was great, wonderful, just didn't quite understand how blindness worked. Didn't quite understand that you need to tell me what assignments I need to be, or what exercises I need to be looking at beforehand, you know, because I don't know. And because the way they do is she gives out worksheets like the day of, like in class, and the DRC never had those worksheets before. So it was just like I was using my phone to look up the song that she wanted me to play. I left my phone on the stupid piano bench. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Me being stupid. And so, because I was so busy, like, closing up the piano and stuff, I just assumed I put my phone away. So, I didn't get it back for 24 hours because they locked the piano labs and they brought it to the lost and found. And I had to find it. And it was a nightmare.
Oh God.
Yeah. But at least I got it back.
Yeah, I guess that's the moral. That's the moral of our like that's the end game. How we lose our phone at one point,
But
and we end up getting it back.
Yeah.
At least we have happy endings with those stories.
At least there wasn't a class directly after mine, so my phone got put in the lost and found instead of stolen. But I never left my phone on the bench again. I always was like, do I have my phone? After every class.
What about crazy flight experiences or plane experiences?
Oh, do I have a crazy plane experience? All right, so this was very recently. We just came back from Michigan, and we were the entire time we were on this flight. I had what you could imagine, the worst child behind me. Like, this thing's tablet was on like max volume, and it didn't have headphones on, and it was constantly slapping my chair, kicking my seat, screaming, like just the worst possible kid you could imagine. Of course, the parents were doing nothing about it because why would you discipline your kids, right? So
Yeah.
finally, like towards the end of the plane ride, I was reaching breaking point. I had my headphones on, was blasting something, trying to keep myself distracted, but I lost it when she touched me. Like, she reached through the little window part of, and she like grabbed me, and that startled me. So I turned around and I said, "Stop!" really loudly, and it scared her and it made her cry. Now
That's what she gets though.
What?
That's what she gets though.
No, hold on. It gets way worse. So I had not brought this up until now, but the parents of the whole family were African American. And so they started going off on me and my mom and being all like, "These white trash, bitch, better learn some respect. You can't fucking teach your kid manners." Not to.
Oh, heck
She was
no.
like, "You're yelling at a little baby.
No.
What the is wrong with you, you little white ass?" Like, it was horrible. And like my mom and I, like, mom leaned over to me and whispered, "Don't say a fucking word, Michaela, because, like, I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to become the next Karen. I'm like, no, I get it. We were just sitting there, blood boiling, and the most satisfying moment of my lives, you guys, when we're landing, and my mom goes, take out your cane now. Literally mid-sentence, I put the cane on the floor, it stands up, they stop. They stop what they're saying. They stop all the shit they're saying about me and my mom, and there's just silence. And then literally right when the plane landed, they were the first ones. We were in the back of the plane, mind you. They booked it. It's like they're thinking, oh shit, because they were obviously trying to provoke us, trying to get a Karen video, and they messed with the wrong bitches.
Yeah.
So,
that's fine.
And hopefully that child learned some discipline. Maybe she actually got a lesson, but I highly doubt it.
Wow, that's wild.
Because I'm sure her parents were all like, oh, that white girl yelled at you. You're totally entitled right now because... I'm sorry, I'm such a terrible person. But, like, literally, that's what I'm thinking it was. It was just like they felt entitled right now.
Yeah. Wow. So
horrible plane experience. What's your plane experiences like?
Well, I'm debating on telling the whole entire Florida experience just because that was one of the nights when I returned home. I pulled an all-nighter, or should I tell the Hawaii one? Because, dude, that was miserable. That was such a long plane ride. We flew from Hawaii, like our return trip was from Hawaii, and we had one stop and one, because from here to Hawaii, like I think it was like 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? Yeah, it was 2018. Yeah, it was. So our plane flight from here to Hawaii was like from here to Chicago to LAX to Hawaii. Even though the Chicago to I think it was Chicago to LAX that was longer than expected, and then of course LAX to Hawaii. We just wanted to get the plane ride over with or whatever, but. Our plane ride from Hawaii, like back here to Virginia, was horrible because it was just one layover, but it was from Hawaii to Chicago, and that was 8.5 hours long.
Hell no, would not sit on a plane for that long.
My goodness, like my brother and I were like. It was just, like, I was just losing my patience. Like, I was literally skimming through my playlist.
Oof. Did I also mention that one of my biggest anxieties is flying on airplanes?
Oh, yeah, mine too. And
I hate it so much.
So, it was funny because I've flown in planes before, like, as a kid and stuff like that, but with my family. But for some reason, I got a massive anxiety when I flew from here to Florida. On my own, like it was like it was weird. Like I was tense all the way.
I'm always like that on planes. I
was telling my sister that I'm like I don't know what it is, but I'm not tense when I'm with you guys, but I was tense when I was by myself. She was like, that's why, because you were by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that flight though from Florida to here. I remember I pulled an all-nighter. That was. I was miserable. I was supposed to go like shopping for like suits and later on like that day. My sister planned it out that like once she picked me up from the airport, she was like, "Do you want to go like suit shopping now?" I'm like, "Oh, Ma." I pulled an all-nighter because if I would have fallen asleep, if Naeem and I would have fallen asleep, I would have had like a tough time waking him up because I remember I had an early flight. I think the earliest flight from Florida to Virginia. Like if we would have fallen asleep, I would have had a long time to, like, it would have taken me a long time to get Naeem ready. So I pulled an all-nighter, let me sleep for like 5 hours, and then we can go to the mall. She was like, okay, that's fine. So I ended up I landed like at 9, got home like at 10. Got home, put my bags down, knocked out for like 6 hours, woke back up, got ready, and I'm like, okay, Alma, let's go to the let's go shopping for new clothes for me, so because I'm fresh and ready to go. And she was like, okay.
Yeah, planes are nuts. All right, Naeem, crazy plane story. Let's get it.
Naeem, do you have any crazy plane stories?
I'm sure he does.
If he's still online, because I don't know. Did he leave the call?
No, he's still here. Are you muted?
Oh boy. Him unmuting
Yeah,
himself is gonna.
he's muted.
Hey guys,
There
can I be
he
heard
is.
now?
Yeah.
Yes. Now tell us about your
Yeah.
crazy plane story.
Okay. So both of you guys are amazing people. All right.
Oh, thank
But
you.
you guys think 8.5 hours is bad. I'll show you guys what's bad. All right.
Oh,
So
God.
So to give everyone a little bit of an
Oh,
idea, ethnically I'm from the
sorry to
Middle
interrupt,
East.
Naeem.
Yeah.
So I think I forgot to tell you what I learned from the 8.5 hour trip. Because I've flown to El Salvador, which is like a 4 hour ride. But don't like if you're gonna be on a plane for more than 4 hours, download a show that you're gonna watch on the plane
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Don't just listen to your music because you'll get
Oh, yeah.
bored of your music as well. Because that's what ended up happening to me. In fact, I started reading an audiobook, but I got bored of that too. So,
I'll tell you the lesson I learned.
but anyways, continue, Naeem.
Yeah. So yeah. I don't remember what we're talking about.
Crazy plane stories.
Yeah.
Okay, let me think here. Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, I want to shout out Crazy Train Enterprises.
You already did.
You already did.
Okay, good. Yeah, you guys were saying you guys had.
You're concerning me, Naeem.
Yeah, are you okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Eat more fish for me, will you?
Oh.
Omega 3s. So, we were talking about crazy plane stories.
Oh, can I tell the
So,
lesson I learned from Mom?
yeah, maybe it'll help me jog my memory.
Yeah.
Go ahead, thank you.
Okay, the lesson I learned: yell at the parents before yelling at the kids, because apparently parents have a really bad reaction when you yell at their kids.
Naeem got dropped out of the call.
What happened?
He probably lost signal, or his old phone probably died out. But he'll join us. But continue. We'll catch him up.
Hmm? Oh yeah, learn to yell at the parents instead of the kids, because apparently parents don't like it when you yell at their kids.
Yeah. Even though I've had the same experience you had, but on a bus ride.
And did you get cursed out by the people and called trash?
No. At least so it was like a religious event that we were going to. So at least it was all peace of mind or whatever. So like it wasn't like, but like we kept on telling the kids like, yo, quiet down, please, quiet down, and they would never quiet down. And driving from, because here's the thing, that's another time that I pulled an all-nighter. I don't know why, because we had to be up and ready at 2 a.m. to go to New York, because we were leaving New York. Like we were leaving to go to New York at 4 a.m.
Oh God, no.
Never again. I told my dad, I'm like, I am never taking a trip like that ever again. Not with kids.
Oh God.
It needs to be full on adults.
No, kids are the worst invention. I don't know who invented kids, but like they shouldn't have.
But anyways, Naeem's back.
Naeem, hi.
By the way,
Hi.
I cut off Michaela, so I'll let her finish off her lessons learned because you probably missed it.
Yeah,
and then
you
we
did.
can get
Yeah, I
your-
missed it. So if you don't mind,
Lessons
rewind.
learned would be to not let it get that far before politely asking the parents to like do something about their kid, or to just try and move if you possibly can. Although this was American, so we had assigned seats.
Yeah, Southwest.
Or
Anyway, yeah. So yeah.
What's your crazy plane story, Naeem?
Yeah, my crazy plane story. So you guys were saying you guys had an 8.5 hour flight, or Oscar was saying they had an 8.5 hour flight. Yeah. So the longest flight I really had, it's not the craziest. I have had crazier flights, but I believe this takes the cake. and it's a flight I would gladly do again, actually. So I'm ethnically Middle Eastern, so we love to go back out to the Middle East every once in a while, visit the family. I have an uncle who lives there, cousins who live in occupied Palestine. It's a very sad story what's going on over there. And I think all people, Palestinian, Israeli, Arab, Jews, we're all suffering the consequences of political greed and a war that should have been very easily resolved and kind of wasn't even supposed to be a war if the United Nations Charter of 1947 wasn't violated. But it was violated and violated again in 67, 73, 87, 2000, 2014, and most recently in 2020. And they're working on an annexation plan to kick more and more Palestinians out of their homes. So it's very, very sad. I've lost a few cousins. I lost one as recently as 2017. It's quite it's quite an unfortunate. It's colonialism is what it is. Settler colonialism, like what happened here to the indigenous peoples and the Native Americans. So we went back. It was 2005, and we were going from DC. We flew from DC, Reagan National, to an airport in New York. I always get LaGuardia and JFK confused, but we flew into one of them, and then we were shuttled off to the other airport to catch a direct flight from that airport in New York City to Amman, Jordan. The duration of that flight is about 14 hours. And it was me, my mom, my younger sister, older sister, and younger brother. My dad was already in Jordan at this time. My mom being just the most patient individual I know. Well, there are many patient individuals I know in my life, but she's definitely one of the top. And she had to manage all four of us kids. I was 7. My older sister was 9. My younger sister was
6.
She wasn't 6 yet because it was in July 31st, which is her birthday. We got to plan something nice for her next Friday. She'll be 21, so she won't
No drinking.
participate
No,
in drinking. Yeah.
No alcohol, though.
Yeah, she won't be participating in any of that, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, I don't know. She just doesn't participate. But anyway, and
Fortunately.
yeah, and yeah. So she was 5, going on to 6, and my younger brother was 3 years old.
Two or 3.
Yeah, he was 3. Yeah, and just herding 4 kids through an airport. She was doing all that in a city, in New York City, the craziest city. And we had gotten at the airport because the limousine service picked us up. We had gotten there like 5 or 6 p.m. Our flight doesn't depart till 3 a.m. So we had like 6 hours to kill, maybe like 9 hours to kill at the airport or something. And, we ate some chicken nuggets or something. I remember eating chicken nuggets. I don't know what everyone else ate, but we ate and we hung out at the airport. I remember going to the men's room and it was flooded. It was nasty. But I guess someone had busted the pipes or something had happened to the floor. It was a mess. Man, my mom's such a patient individual. I can't commend her enough for that evening, amongst other instances where she's been so patient. But that was like, it just 2 blind kids, and my brother at the time, he does have some intellectual disabilities and stuff, and has behavioral disabilities. So he had his own stuff he was dealing with, and me and my 2 sisters, and my 2 sisters were always my mom's little helpers, and so yeah,
Still are to this day.
Yeah, to this day, they're all good friends. They're real tight. They're all basically like sisters.
Well, you become the troubled child.
I am. I've always been the troubled child. I've been the estranged child. I have to make a greater effort to connect with them. But anyway, so it's New York City. We get on the plane at 3 a.m. and it just so happens that them 4 are together and I end up having to sit with this other gentleman. An
Oh, your
older
parents
Arab
allowed
gentleman,
that? That's wild.
well, we had no choice. It was the way the seating was set up. So I was the one who opted to sit with him. He's a nice guy, family guy, and he had his son too. So we all sat together, and it was a 14-hour flight. I think the first couple hours I did participate in some sleeping, and some resting of my eyes and some slumber. And I remember getting up and just striking it off with this guy. I was one of those kids who'd talk to anyone. And, to this day, I remember some of the details of the conversation. He was telling me about how he's from Jordan and how
And
Jordan's really a
And
place
yet you don't
I'll
remember
enjoy.
teaching me how to mop. I see how it is.
I must have been having a difficult day the day I taught you how to mop, being that I don't remember it. But there will come a day where I will remember. Hopefully, I must have been.
How to mop too.
Must have not. Oh wow. Okay.
You taught me how to mop too.
Oh wow. So I guess I should take up a job as mop instructor. So Oscar insists I taught him how to mop, and I genuinely. I don't mean any disrespect. I just don't remember teaching him, but I'm pretty sure it's true. It's just the day I had done that, maybe either I had had a bad diet, hadn't eaten the right food, or I wasn't feeling right, or maybe I had had syncope later that night and forgot. I don't know what happened, but the point of the matter is I don't remember that at all. It's like wiped clear of my memory. But he insists I taught him.
I'm gonna try my.
I'm gonna ask you, Oscar. Did I teach you the right way? I hope so.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, I guess that's all that matters, right?
You taught me the right way too.
Okay, good.
Do you remember teaching me, Naeem?
Now, if you don't remember teaching her, that's because
I don't.
That means you're a poor instructor.
I don't.
Blocked out a lot of memories of me, didn't you?
I wouldn't put it that way.
Yeah, but you taught me how to mop too.
I am pretty sure I had. Because it's showing pattern. When Oscar used to say it by himself, I was like, yeah, whatever you say, man. But now I'm hearing from two people, and two people who have reliable memories. So, man, don't take me for testimony as a witness in any court case.
No.
All right, folks. For folks who have memory, I guess you could call them like memory farts. I don't know.
Brain farts.
Like myself, you guys. Yeah, you want to check out a website where the founder and former CEO of IRA, which is a blindness app, Suman. I wish I could pronounce his name correctly. I can't think of it right now. His last name is he's South Asian. Very beautiful last name. But he is starting on a new project to help you log memory so you can better remember how things. And it's using AI, and you call your prompt basically banks all your memory data and stores it, and it's blockchain encrypted. It cannot easily hack into your most secret memories. But go to see a demonstration of what's in the works. Still Luther, like Luther.
You're cutting in and out.
Okay, can it be heard better now, I hope?
No.
Not really, no.
No, all right. All right. What now?
No.
No.
Naeem, try joining from your computer.
He lost custody of his computer.
Oh, he did? That's right. I forgot about that. I love being an only child.
I love being blind because my siblings don't touch my technology.
Because I don't know how to use it.
Exactly.
I love being blind because it shuts stupid people up at the airport.
Naeem, you're still, if you're trying to still join.
You're still skipping.
Yeah.
And he gone.
And he's gone.
He'll be back.
Yeah.
So what's our next conversation topic? We've done crazy train stories. We've done crazy plane stories.
Ooh. How about crazy cooking stories?
Oh, I don't cook. I don't have a crazy cooking story. I'm sure Naeem would have a good crazy cooking story.
Oh, no. Him and I have a ton of those.
Yeah. And he's back.
And he's back. All right, Naeem. So we came up with our next topic after you finish your plane story, which is going to be our crazy cooking stories. So if you got wind of that, just finish your plane story, and then we can move on to crazy cooking stories. Once you unmute yourself, of course.
Every time I've cooked something, it's been extremely successful, so I have no crazy cooking stories.
Not even at the center not even at the centers you've.
Yeah, every time I've done something
training program.
Every time I've done something at a training program, it's come out perfectly.
No stress, no nothing.
Nope.
Oh man, you're so.
The pizzas came out great. The brownies came out great. The scrambled eggs have always come out great. The grilled cheese sandwiches.
Well, it's scrambled eggs.
Okay, the brownies came out great my first try, and it was from scratch. I was proud of that.
I remember doing. I think that doing. So I remember when I would go through training, that was and I would always have help no matter what. But I remember the brownies was actually the first thing that I did by myself. It was peanut butter brownies.
Yeah, mine were M&M brownies.
I was so satisfied and so happy that that was my first long project.
Oh, and my stir fry. That's the hardest thing I ever made. That came out great.
Yeah.
I was so proud of that.
But, Naeem, are you back?
I don't know. Can I be heard now?
Yeah. You're back.
Yeah. Now you're back. So finish your plane story.
All right. But before I do, I really want to let folks know to check out luther.ai. That's luther.ai/Suman, SUMAN, to see a demo of what's in the works in making what's called Luther Primes, so data banks of your memory. It's in the early stages of production, but once this technology is out there on the market for consumption, I know I'll be one of the first in line to purchase. So it's fun to check out. Be sure, folks, to check it out, luther.ai. And if you want to see a demo of how this stuff is going to sort of turn out, luther.ai/Suman. All right.
Oh, I'm gonna mute myself. I'm gonna mute myself for a minute or two just to go get a drink of water. So I'll be muted for just a while.
No problem. So I could still be heard, I hope.
Yeah, I'll be your audio person. I can hear you.
Okay. So yeah. So yeah.
Crazy plane story? Gotta finish that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You were talking about your sisters and your patient mother, and you were talking to this guy on the plane, and he's from Jordan.
Yeah, and this was my first time going to Jordan, and he was just telling me about all the fun I'm gonna have, and he was telling me because I used to be so in love. I mean, I still am in love with all kinds of creatures and animals, but I used to be so in love with sheep and lambs and goats. And,
you still are.
And I am.
That hasn't changed.
And I was telling him, I remember I was explaining to him, I said, when I grow up, I want to be a shepherd. I want to herd all the sheep and everything, and it's going to be so amazing. And so I was explaining to him, and he was telling me how I'm going to have so much fun in Jordan. And I was telling him how I love this Jordanian dish. It's called mensef, which is like a spread of very good rice, and it comes with pine nuts and beautiful thick yogurt. So it's a white sauce, and it comes with some pita bread or thin bread broken up on the top, and you can have tender chunks of flavorful, succulent lamb, and it's really good. And then you always have some raw onion and some radishes on the side, and
You
some
need to be an
cucumber and
audio
olives.
describer for food, like anime Food Wars. Like like that anime show called Food Wars. Do you know what I'm talking about? I forget what the main character's name is, but he has to go to this like super elite school for cooking, and he makes like these crazy, insane, one of a kind dishes. You would be a great audio describer for that anime.
So, you know what's crazy? There are people who go to such elite schools to learn how to make specific dishes. Like, for sushi, to be a top quality sushi chef.
Sushi chef.
It's hard to say.
Sushi chef. Wow, that is hard to say.
You have to like go through like 7 years of training and knowing all the different types of fish and all the different types of seaweed and all the different types of. It's crazy, but it's fun. I've always had a passion for culinary arts. You know what's really weird about me though?
What's
I have to cook. I learned this about myself. I have to cook alone, like in pure silence.
Same.
No one around me. No one talking to me. No one trying to help me get the vegetables out the fridge.
I'm the opposite. I need help when I'm doing things.
Yeah, no, because otherwise, I don't know. I just find myself going slower. It's like lock me in the kitchen. Let me throw on my music, and something will come together eventually. So, but anyway, so I'm here and really indulging in this conversation. It's actually one of my clearest memories from childhood. And we were just talking, and it was for the whole duration of that flight. They brought us nice meals. They brought us some rice and meat dishes. Hey, welcome back. They brought us a really nice salad. I remember the salad was like a lemon and olive oil based salad, definitely Middle Eastern style, with plenty of olives and cucumbers.
Don't talk to me about plain food. Don't talk to me about plain food, because I remember.
No, you haven't had Jordanian plain food. That stuff is really good. Really good.
Nah, man, I don't mess with plain food anymore. Even in first class. I remember that 8-hour plane ride. I remember that I got food poisoning, and you do not want to have food poisoning on a plane.
On a plane. No.
You don't want to have food poisoning ever, but
Yeah.
but yes, on a plane it's worse because then the lavatories. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to have food poisoning ever.
I don't know who's sitting out there rooting for some food poisoning. I could use me some E. coli right now. I need the salmonella where I can get it.
Oh, my poor mother got salmonella after Christmas once. She was sick for like 3 days.
Oh, yeah, that's
Remember
really
that?
annoying.
Yeah,
you
that
get
was
like
awful.
a really bad stomach ache, and usually it ends up in like,
Remember, Naeem, you
stuff
were
coming
there.
out of you. Oh, oh yeah, that's right. The turkey, right?
Yeah, it was the turkey.
Yeah, I think she was saying like she accidentally.
She had like an open
cut
wound,
herself.
and she didn't realize she had
and
like
then
a
she
small
made
cut.
contact with the turkey
Yeah,
bacteria.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible. I remember there was one time I had a similar situation with seafood. Ugh.
This is why I don't eat seafood.
I was peeling some shrimp. Or something like that, and
What's
I was
that really loud?
I guess I didn't.
Is there a smoke alarm going off in somebody's near vicinity?
Oh, it's my.
Or
it's
like
probably I'm in the basement now because it's a lot cooler. So
the basements are dope. I want a basement. We don't get them in Arizona because the ground's way too hard to dig basements.
Yeah, the thing about basements though.
But you could make a cellar though, could you not?
Yeah, you could make a cellar. Do you guys have like a cellar, or wine cellar, anything like that?
No,
It's like
we don't have anything cool.
Oh. I'm not
Any
going
of that
to.
underground stuff.
I'm gonna say something very random.
Except we have below ground pools.
Actually my favorite types of homes, and it's funny because in the conversation I had with my mom about spending $120 on a cheesesteak, I was having a conversation about my favorite type of home is like the simplest, most basic, most simple, like apartment or one level home.
So like
just
our
nothing,
house,
just
you
straight
loved our
white
house?
walls. Oh yeah, your house was actually really nice. It was just one simple level. It had the rooms it needed. It had the
And there
yard
was like an
space it
open
needed.
structure. Yeah.
It was just simple. It wasn't like all that like fancy schmancy. Like here we got like one side of bedrooms, like one wing area, and then a second wing area, and then there's a third level and second level and basement level and all this nonsense. No, I'm not about that.
Oh,
You know, I'm
see,
really
I
not
want
about
a
that.
basement in my future house, which means I'm gonna have to live anywhere but Arizona.
I'll tell you one thing. We so seldom used our basement. We ended up renting it out to some friends.
Oh wow.
So basements end up not really being used unless you're
I
like,
would use my
yeah.
basement for
You know,
things that
I
I'm
could
not gonna.
see a basement being made into
Uh,
we should take either the basement in our home in my home or the basement in your home, Oscar, and set up a podcast studio down there. Full on like
Well, here's the
cameras,
thing. My
microphones, and
basement
everything.
is a huge array because I remember that was my workstation. Because I remember I stationed my laptop, my brown note, all down there.
Yeah.
But then, like, because of the flooding that we had here, like everything's like in disarray. Like we barely put the bed that was in the spare room that we have because my sister moved out of the house. She got married, but like we barely put the room back into the spare room. Like that's what I'm laying on right now. But like, yeah.
I see. Well, maybe we'll have to make space in our pardon me, excuse me. Excuse me again. Whoa, excuse me again. We have
You're
to
saying excuse
make
me for things we can't even hear.
excuse me. No, I'm violating the most simple rule of etiquette. So you have to excuse yourself.
But we can't hear you.
Excuse me. Why the hell am I burping so much? Sorry, 1 second.
This is the most fun I've
Constantly-
ever had on this podcast. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my gosh.
Excuse me, pardon me.
Are you gonna have a fit of the giggles? I'll go on mute for a sec.
So, if I can get my, excuse me. So yeah, so where was I? So we're sitting here and we're just having the most ingratiating, engaging, I don't know what the right word would be, conversation. Like we're digging deep. Like you have like a tub of Nutella in front of you and you're just eating that Nutella.
Oh,
Yeah, and it's just like
Nutella and
What
my
a tub
stomach
of
aren't-
Nutella.
Nutella and my stomach aren't friends. So
Oh no.
yeah. You can just stuff your face in that thing once in a while, though, man. Give it a
I
try.
do.
Give it a second chance.
Oh
Give
my
it a second
God.
chance.
I gave it a second, a first, a second, and a third. It does not go well with my
Oscar,
stomach.
did you just eat it straight up, or have you tried ever
I
like
ate it with-
dipping?
No, I ate it with crepes, like
Oh,
pancakes.
it's so good.
like
I use
crepes.
Yeah,
graham
Nutella
crackers.
crepes are good.
Nutella crepes, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So we were just sitting here and we were really indulging in this conversation, and it was like I don't know. It was the best conversation I've ever had with a stranger. You know, and it's sometimes nice just to have random conversations with strangers. Oh my gosh, Oscar used to hate me when we would be in
Oscar?
downtown Richmond. I was gonna mix Austin and Oscar.
Again, it's better
Oscar.
than what you called me during our podcast when you were brain fart. You would call me like Peter, then Edward, then Tom, and then Jason, and then...
Tom.
Well, Jason is because I have a really good friend named Jason, so that's
Well, I
probably where I
get
got that.
Jason, but where's Tom coming from?
Tom Cotton, senator from Arkansas, horrible, terrible man.
You're mixing up Oscar with a senator from... What?
So,
What am I hearing right now? You like that, Oscar? You're being confused for a terrible senator. How does it feel?
he's liked for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I should be flattered or if I should be offended.
It's like, should you be flattered that you're being elevated to the level of senator, or should you be offended that you're being elevated to like the least popular senator in the country? Actually, poor poor Susan Collins. She's right now in the list of, she's number one as the least popular senator in the country.
I don't even know who
Which,
that is.
see, I think she messed herself up. You know, she was doing good. She was like one of those moderate Republicans. She was a senator from Maine. She was okay. You know, she was the only pro-choice Republican there was, and she was doing fine.
Pro-choice Republicans.
There are a few of them. And there are a few pro-life Democrats. Dan Lipinski.
Yeah,
anyway,
I know there are some pro-life Democrats, but I didn't realize there were pro-choice Republicans.
They come from the Dixiecrat movement. You know, the Democrat Party was actually more saturated with racists before the Republicans. The Republicans have only shifted to white nationalist ways recently.
I just realized we probably should switch conversations.
Save it for political podcasts.
Okay, well, we will have a we'll have a history of the party's conversation. But anyway, later. Yeah.
I'll call you later.
So the point of the matter is, you know, we were having this really good conversation, and you know, it was just nice. It was just, I think 14 hours flew by, and we landed in
Literally.
Jordan. You know, parted ways with him, with my family, of course. Probably never saw the guy again, or his son. His son was about my age. But the point of the matter is, it's just, you know, sometimes nice to just realize you can shoot the breeze, or, you know, chop it up, or, you know, whatever you want to call it, you know, grind it out with a stranger whenever you want. Like,
well, here's the thing. My view on that. So, question, Michaela, are you an introvert, or are you what's it? Intro and
extra.
Introvert or extrovert?
Extra. Are you intro or extra?
I would like to say that I'm more of an extrovert, but in all honesty, you know, I probably am more of an introvert.
Yeah, because my way is, I want, like, because I don't mind talking to people. The people have to talk to me first.
Yes.
Wow. I guess that's where I differ. Like,
well, I remember again, I guess in Naeem, in my case, I just had to make the introductions because I had to, you know. Oh, so Naeem, I think we're gonna get our little precious little segment that we've been wanting to do since our pilot, talking about crazy cooking experiences. So I guess we can. This is a good segue.
Okay.
Michaela, if you haven't checked out our pilot, that's how you know how, like, Naeem and like I, like, our dynamic started.
Where we met, our backstory, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, except I already know how you guys met.
No, but it's weird because
I know.
I remember, like, it was there were rules in play. There were a lot of things in play that forced me to actually talk to Naeem.
Yeah, I remember.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem, though. He's making me out to sound like I was gonna bite his hand if he said hello. I love talking to people. He just, you know, I guess it's natural. Oscar's an introvert. He didn't know me, so I was supposed to be his mentor, right? I was supposed to be his, like, hey, welcome to the center type guy. You know, come on in. You're part of the family, right? But, like, I remember when I first met him, he was busy moving in with his family. And then the next day, I saw him at breakfast. We kind of hi-bye'd it for a little. But, you know, he was keeping conversation simple. So I thought he was just trying to figure out his surroundings. So I left him be. But, like, and Oscar, I guess you could talk about what was going through your mind, because I really don't know. But it's like, I was always ready to talk to you. You were kind of, like, contemplating how to approach me, man. I laugh. I don't laugh in, like, an offensive way.
I know.
I hope I don't give off
those types
of vibes. Do I give off the I'm gonna bite your hand off vibes? Please tell me I don't.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
So I remember you knocking on the door. I don't know if you want to tell the story of how.
No, yeah, I
what was
remember.
going through your mind.
So the rule that my parents put in play was, if you want to leave campus, you have to do it with a buddy. I'm like, do I have to do it with like, I can't go by myself because this is an adult program. They're like, no, you have to go with someone. I was like, fine. So it was weird because at the center, Naeem, and you know this, there weren't, like, at the beginning, there was only, like, what, 3 or 4 people in the 25 and under range at the time that you and I started.
Sorry, what was that? Sorry. Hello?
That at the time that you and I started, there was only like 3 or 4 people in the 25 or under range.
Yeah, there were only a few folks who were around our age. Most people were older. Mm-hmm. There was just me, you, and then 2 or 3 others. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I remember. Well, that when you and I started, but after certain someone started in October, that's when like younger folk.
Oh, yeah, he brought the whole crowd with him. We'll have him on a future episode. Hopefully we can talk him into it. Mark Canamasso.
Yeah, but like I remember I was like, oh, I'm like, it's gonna be so weird if I have to ask all these like older people to come with me to a store. Like it was just weird. So then I was like, but wait, I think that guy Naeem, I think he told me he lives in 154. And in my mind, because I thought that he was actually just a tad bit older than me, I was like, he doesn't seem like that old, so maybe I can hit it off with him or something. So maybe he needs to go to the store for something. So I remember I knocked on your door and I'm like, hey, like I need to go to the grocery store to go or to the store in general to go buy some sheets for my bed because the sheets that I brought from home didn't fit correctly on the twin bed or whatever. I don't know if you want to come along. And you know what his answer was, Michaela? His answer was, I should go to an NFB chapter meeting, but I'll catch that later. Let's go to let's go to Walmart, man.
Such a
I hope all the ice melted after that. I was trying to let you know. Come on, man. Let's go. Let's go. I don't know if the ice melted there or later, but anyway, continue.
No, so I remember we got stranded at Walmart because apparently Uber, like there were no Ubers around, and like we didn't know how to use the Uber app or Lyft app, so we were stuck waiting for Napoleon taxi. Man, that was wild. That was a wild trip.
So your first trip, your first really interaction together was a wild trip. How fun is that?
But crazy cooking stories.
No.
Oh, sorry, Nan. Go ahead. And then
I remember I was chatting on the phone with my mom, and Oscar's like, we gotta get home, man. It's 8 at night in downtown Richmond. We gotta get home. I'm like, it's. And
by the way,
man.
Michaela, you don't want to be in downtown
out in Richmond at 8 o'clock. Yeah, no.
So let me think of a city y'all have that's
Tucson?
Yuma? No, Yuma's not a good example. Yuma's not populated.
Tucson?
Tucson's a little rough around the edges in some places. There are even some parts of downtown Phoenix that are a little. Well, okay. Let's just say I don't know if you're familiar with much of California. San Bernardino, California. It's right outside of LA.
Nope.
Okay, that was a bad example. Anyway, you get the point. It's like not the best place to be around at night.
Bad place, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not as bad as Baltimore, and I've been there.
It's like how you don't want to be 8 o'clock at night in downtown Mesa.
No, I thought you were going directly.
Mesa's a huge place, though. Mesa's got some really good places, and it's got some rough places. There's some good parts of Mesa.
Bad parts of Mesa. There are some really bad parts of Mesa. Like some
for sure. Do you know Mesa? Mesa is the most Republican city in Arizona.
I sure do.
Well, now you know.
Mesa's awful.
There are some nice places, but yeah, I'm pretty sure downtown's where it's at.
But Mesa,
okay.
Arizona.
Near you, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Albuquerque's horrible.
There we go.
Yeah. But
Albuquerque's bad.
So it's like I'm here just minding my own, chatting on the phone with my mom, trying to figure out how to do this Uber thing, and I was like, come on, we gotta go, and then I'm basically I'm moseying around. I'm not like in an extreme rush. I'm like, we'll get out of here eventually. We're at Walmart. We got our.
Because my thing is that my mom again, she was hesitant to let me go and explore the world by myself, so she was kind of concerned with me like being stuck in the middle of bad parts of Richmond and dude, trust me, when she gets sometimes she gets over exaggerated, but like when she does freak out, it's no joke. It is no joke. I'm like everyone ends up being stressed out.
Oh God.
Yeah, I try to I sympathize with that, but I try to always say, take life easy. I'm not saying go throw yourself in bad neighborhoods purposely, but like, just enjoy it. Take it one step at a time, and everything's gonna be all right regardless. But that's, I guess, my laid back and not precautionary personality is what got me jumped for a phone. But anyway, so yeah, but I think. Ooh, remember Oscar? Oscar used to hate this about me. Well, I don't know if he hated it, but he definitely was not appreciative. When we would be walking around downtown Richmond to do whatever we needed to do, go to groceries or stuff, I'd start chatting it up with some random folks. Remember the
Yeah.
Cuban gentleman I was chatting with?
Oh my god.
I have a friend who
Oscar
hates
never let that
me.
down.
I have a friend who hates me because I do the exact same thing. Like literally, we'll just be walking and I'll just be talking to these random people that said
Yeah, but
something
I'm
to
not
us, and
trying
she's
to.
just like,
Because here's
"Why?
the thing.
Stop! Stop!"
I don't mind like you talking to them. It's just that this guy was like half asleep too. Like he was like not paying attention who he was talking to.
Oh,
So I'm like, okay, if this guy ends up jumping us, I'm stuck defending the both of us.
Well, here's the thing. This guy seemed like a nice guy. He obviously reeked of beer and peanut butter, oddly enough.
well, I wouldn't talk to anyone who reeked of beer.
And
Well,
peanut
then
butter.
again, he
No.
was half asleep.
I didn't pick up the odor till like I was already indulged in the conversation. But anyway, so I'm sitting here and I'm chatting to this guy, and then he starts talking Spanish to Oscar, and I'm like, "Oh, you guys share the same language," and I'm here ready to like to strike it up with the guy because he's like talking with us, and Oscar's like trying to nudge me, like, "Come on, we gotta go where we need to go. Let's get the hell out of here."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yo, man, it's all good. Let's chat it up. Let's."
You liked
the one
to do that
time-
with me too, and I was like, "No, don't."
Oh yeah, you guys need to fill me in on your little crazy Arizona adventures at some point.
Oh, we had some adventures.
Well, some adventures that you guys are willing to divulge, but off air, of course. But
Nothing too interesting happened.
No, just the one time when
Just the one time when
Oh,
you
man,
flooded the
I was-
bathroom in California.
that was in San Diego.
oh
Yeah,
my
no,
god,
that was
he
fun.
told me that.
That was fun.
was funny. I was dying.
No.
I was
No, you know what was
dying
no,
when he
you know what
told
was
me
crazier? You know what was crazier? I'm
What was
just
crazier?
here like it's all right. And Michaela's like, you what? I remember. I think.
You got so pissed off at me.
No, I was just like. Maybe evidence that I wasn't as laid back and chill as I was playing. Like I was like, admittedly, I'm no dummy. I was freaking out. Oh my gosh, this is gonna leak and it's gonna be a big problem. But all I was thinking of was like, it's not a big deal. If we all pay for it, it'll be all
My God.
covered. We'll move
Do
on.
you not realize what could have happened? We weren't on the first floor. So the bathtub, because I learned about this after I did the same thing to my poor Aunt Jenny's bathroom.
Mhm.
If you're not, the bathtub could actually fall through the thing and you could have
Yeah.
been sent plummeting to your death. Like, that's why I was so serious about it, Naeem, because I had done the same thing before.
Yeah,
and
because
I
that
had
can
fan-
crack. That can
and I
crack
almost
open
died,
the ceiling.
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
almost died doing something like that. So that's why I was so serious about it. I was like, he flooded the bathroom. We have to do something about it now. And Naeem was like, relax, I got it. I'm taking care of it. I'm like, obviously you don't.
All I remember is that it was a shouting match between you two, and then somehow both of you
My
ended up
poor
getting
mother was like, what the hell?
Yeah, she was
getting
trying to
emotional,
figure.
and then Naeem was
Yeah,
like,
no,
okay, everyone
I
shut
had
up.
gotten
All
I had
is-
gotten
all I
I had
remember Naeem
gotten a
telling me.
little too carried away. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
it was.
remember.
Go ahead.
Naeem was like, he prefaced it with, dude, I'm kind of appreciative that Miss Linda, our PHM instructor at our taught me well. Like, that is one skill that I picked up because I made that bathroom from a flooded mess to squeaky clean like that.
You did. I was very impressed. Oh, and then he was so testy with me. He's like, see, I told you I could do. I'm like, fuck you.
Typical Naeem.
No, and here's the thing. I was like a raging bull.
Our only fight as a couple. No, we had another one.
Oh yeah, we've had a few. Not a lot, but a few. But no, it was like I was like because I remember I was like Because like that whole day, I'm not going to lie, that whole day it bothered me. I was like, damn, I shouldn't have yelled at Michaela. I could have just calmly said, I'll take care of it.
You were very upset about it all day, and I was like, please, it's fine. I live with my mother. I'm used to this. Don't worry.
No, it's just because I personally, so I guess something I haven't told either of you guys a lot about.
Is that whenever you yell, you freeze up?
Or whenever someone yells at me too. So it's
whenever someone yells at you, you freeze up. I used to do it to you all the time, remember? Because I didn't believe you, and then you told me, so I
That's
yelled
why
at you.
Naeem would always come with a. He was like, I don't know. She was just yelling at me, blah blah blah. I'm like, you don't know what she was yelling to you about, or what your response was at the time.
Well, see, my whole thing gets shut down. Like I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah, he freezes until I'm calm. Until someone calmly says his name.
Yeah, no, and that's not just for like, it's like even with my parents, with I don't know why, I just can't. Have I
ever yelled at you, Naeem? No, right? I don't think I've ever yelled at you.
I'm just a yeller. I felt bad because I'm just a natural yeller. I got it from my mother, so my voice is naturally loud. So when I'm being passionate or something, people think I'm yelling at them. It's like, I'm not yelling at you. You're just
explaining your point of view.
I'm expressing myself.
By the way, Oscar, I got yelled at last night. I'll have to tell you about that. I'll tell you, Michaela, as well. It's crazy. But anyway, I got yelled at so bad last night. And I don't even know how I hung up the phone. I hung up the phone and the person texts me after. They're like, I'm sorry. Did you get offended that I yelled? And at that point, I was like,
when was this? Because I remember you and I were on the phone for like a long time. We were trying to film a podcast, but that episode kind of was an epic failure.
Yeah, that was an epic failure. We tried one last night, and that didn't work out. That was like at like 4 my time, 4 or 5 my time, 2
no wonder you overslept
today,
Michaela. Homeboy. God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about overslept. I had an insanely not good experience yesterday. So my mom and I were watching Supernatural till 3 a.m. I woke up at
is that show any good? I'm trying to find new things to watch.
Oh my god, I love that show.
Well, you guys watch that. I'll continue watching.
It's really hard to watch without a sighted person because it doesn't have audio description and it's a pretty visual show.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, I think like for me,
I wonder if it's on Audio Vault.
It might be.
Oh yeah, shout out to any other blind people that don't know about this because neither of you did.
Yeah.
There's a couple of websites where you can download audio described content as MP3 files completely free of charge. And the first one's called Blindness. You have to create an account with your email and password, and then you can log into the Blindness movie vault. And it's awesome. And then the other one is called Audio Vault, and they actually have TV shows and movies, and that one's awesome too. So if you didn't know about that, check them out. Blind Mice Mega Mall, and then it's just Audio Vault. It's the second thing that comes up when you Google Audio Vault.
Well, and here's the thing. I've never really been a movie or series consumer so much. Like I'd watch.
By the way, I thank you, Michaela, for breaking him into that world. Because I remember I tried to convince him or talk him into watching different shows and stuff like that on Netflix or any platforms. So little to no success. And then when he went to visit you in Arizona, he came back and he was telling me all these shows and movies that you guys watched together.
Black Mirror, I think, is the one.
Black Mirror is dope!
I'd really gotten hooked on. That was a really good one, actually.
Black Mirror. Have you seen we saw the Christmas special with them, the one where they could block people mentally. Oh my god, that was crazy.
That is so cool. I'm just like, I can use that skill right now.
Are you trying to block us mentally?
No, not y'all. I'm trying to block the orange man in the White House. Like if I don't have to hear anything he says, I'd be very happy. Another
person that keeps on requesting a certain thing. That's someone that you could.
Oh, that's the person I'd gotten into a fight with. I don't want to mention their name here
because. I remember you telling me you got in a fight with someone.
Last night, yeah, I got into a massive fight. But I'll tell both of you guys off air for sure. Just because we
Totally,
haven't.
like off air.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, because we
yeah.
hadn't seeked out permission from this person for this story to be
Okay,
told.
To be honest,
Yeah.
to be honest, I don't care. I know who you're talking about, and I won't like talk negatively on air. But that person is to me now.
All right. Well, if she comes
We
across
won't
this
talk
episode, she'll
about-
know how you
We
feel
won't
about
talk
it.
about
Anyway,
it on
all right,
air.
next.
Well,
Yeah, next.
I mean,
next.
Next, crazy
we-
cook experiences.
Have
Yeah.
none. Next.
Well, I guess I can not, dude. Naeem, you and I have had crazy.
Remember the time I burned your apartment down?
Oh my god!
I burned
Oh
his
my.
almost burned his apartment down.
Ugh.
Wait, I do have a crazy cooking story. How did I forget? I set our apartment on fire too.
Well,
my
we've all
God.
done that once in our lives.
Wait, how did I
Go
forget
ahead.
about? Okay, so I was at Blind Ink.
A training
this
center in
was-
Minnesota for folks who don't know what it is. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, and it was like towards the end. So Marisol, I mean, the people just assumed that I knew what I was doing, but like nobody came to check me, and I even specifically was all like, I'm using this tray. It kind of feels like plastic.
Michaela,
Is it safe to
did you just
use?
not hear what you just said? I'm cracking up inside right now.
Wait, what did I say?
Check me.
What?
You said no one came to check me.
Oh, no one came to check on me. Sorry. I don't know what I say sometimes. That happens.
Is that like a reference? I don't know how that's funny.
Scatterbrain!
Scatterbrain moment.
All right. That didn't happen, guys. I meant to say check on me.
Okay, so what does it mean when you say someone's going to check you? What does that mean?
We'll toggle you off air, Naeem. It's not appropriate.
Oh dear. Okay. All right, y'all continue.
Nobody checked on me. Nobody told me that I was doing anything wrong, even though I asked. I was like, is it safe to put this in the oven? And the person was all like, yeah, it should be fine. Like, no one came to check on me, see what I was doing. So bottom line, I used a tray that felt to me not like plastic, and it was plastic, and the entire apartment was set on fire. The entire hall had to be evacuated. Our whole program, the whole university was sent onto the outside because of me. It was all my fault. I had such a hard time coping with that.
Oh, I almost burned down the whole entire VRCBVI campus once.
Yeah, I almost burned down that. Oh my god, I literally could not cope. I was like, it was insane. Anyway, next cooking story.
So, I guess Naeem, you can tell about the time that you almost burned my apartment down, but I'm gonna go first and how I remember. And I remember I was so stressed out that day. So,
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna tell the time that I almost burned down the whole entire campus story.
Oh, you had burned down the. I remember the time I had burned down. You're almost burned.
Okay,
down.
so
We're saying it as
I
if
think,
it happened. Anyway, go ahead.
So no. So I'll and I think you're gonna remember this story. Because
Okay.
I remember I specifically didn't want to tell you at the time. I just wanted to like get through it.
Oh, so it had been something that sort of worked with your confidence in the kitchen.
Yeah. So
That
I
happens.
remember.
I understand that.
So
Go
I
ahead.
remember the assignment too. So the assignment was gonna be a what was it? A 7-Up cake. A 7-Up bunk cake, and like I knew that preparing, like getting all the materials was gonna take forever. So the instructor told me at the time, she was like, get all your materials together, get all the sugar, get all the flour, put it in a little baggie, so that way tomorrow you're not spending all your time like getting sugar and flour and all that extra stuff ready. And I'm like, okay, no problem. So here I am, and at some point I spilled a whole bunch of sugar and flour on the floor.
Oh god. You sound like me.
So I'm like, oh man, I need to clean this up. And I told the instructor, I'm like, hey, I need to get the broom or whatever to clean up the mess. Just okay. the room is, in the corner in between like the fridges or whatever. And I'm like, okay. So I start sweeping, but there was some content that was still stuck under the stove, so I had to really get underneath the stove to like clean up that stuff. So for some weird reason, I kept on bumping into one of the knobs that turn on the stove with my shoulder.
That. Oh no.
But hold on a second. But the content that didn't spill over that I had on the in the little baggie was still on. I accidentally put it on the stove top.
Oh no.
And I didn't notice that the stove was on until like it was all burned. And like the student that was with me, he was an older gentleman, and he was like, "Oscar, like, what are you doing over here?" And like the whole entire like kitchen staff, like everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on in the kitchen?" I'm like, "Oh crap!" And everyone was trying to like make me feel better. Naeem, does that story not ring a bell? Because I've told you the story countless times.
Naeem.
Oh my gosh. And I remember when, so we had an instructor.
We need to have like a little tally counter of all the times we have to be like, Naeem, where did you go?
I'm about to make a drinking game out of it. I'm gonna get myself.
It's a drinking game, yes.
Drinking game. Every single time I say Naeem, unmute yourself, or Naeem, are you still there? I'm gonna take a shot.
Oh my god, you're gonna be drunk AF. Nah.
But I remember like one of the instructors, like she was like what is it called, the adult, oh my god, what is that, ABE or whatever, adult basic education.
Adult basic education, Miss Joanne Wiggins. Oh my gosh, she is.
So I remember
She's
like
amazing. Anyway,
the way that she described it, because she was like, there's like literally she was like, there is black, because I guess she stepped out and saw the smoke. She was like, and there is black smoke coming from the kitchen.
Yeah, so that's the amazing thing about Joanne. By the way, I'm sorry if I missed anything. I went to go say hi to my aunt. My aunt has come over to visit us. Hashtag COVID. No, I'm joking.
Oh my god,
she's having a tough time. So
oh.
her husband recently passed on, and her son is, he's struggling, and so I had to say hello. I'll join them here in a few. But so I don't know. Did I miss anything, or is Oscar explaining? It's the sugar story, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Not that.
Wow, Naeem! I almost killed. I could have potentially killed people.
Me included. I was in the same
Building.
camp.
Oh my
And all you could say is, "Oh, that's so cool."
Oh, that's so cool.
Well, I know this is supposed to be an off-air conversation, but the individual who fought with me last night fought with me because I responded to a serious concern of theirs with, "Oh, that's good." So, but anyway, well, there was more that we fought about, but anyway,
I need to know what happened and who this person is now. We need to wrap this episode up so that we can off air have this conversation.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. So
I need to know.
I guess we can go live for another 10 minutes and then we can just wrap up.
This is getting fun
This
though.
has been
10 minutes.
I know.
Yeah, but Naeem, you do have an aunt over, and
No, I told her hi. No, don't tell her I said that. But she's gonna be around for the night.
You're
like me, Naeem. I'm so proud of you. You're becoming me.
We are the product of the 5 people we associate with the most.
I finally am rubbing off on you. It's probably not good.
It took you 2 years, Michaela, but at least you got there.
Oh my god, right? Maybe now you'll stop wanting to buy Teslas.
No, I still want that Tesla. But
my mom really wants a Tesla. Why don't you just get her a Tesla?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, if I can drive it out to y'all once COVID passes, and if it's fully self-driving, I'll drive it all the way out to y'all.
Yeah, that'll happen. A
Well, on the
self-driving
plus side- on
car
the
with a
plus side,
blind driver will
the-
make it from Virginia to Arizona. That's
On
gonna
the-
happen.
on the plus
You know what? You
side,
just gave me the best
could-
idea. You gave me
on
the
the
best
plus
idea.
side, hold on, Naeem. On
Go
the
ahead,
plus
go ahead.
side, if he falls asleep on the wheel, it won't matter because it's a self-driving car.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So once the autonomous vehicle, once they improve on their autonomy, what I'm gonna do, this is gonna be a big hit. I'm gonna reach out to some local executive producers here at the local ABC station, and they're going. I'm gonna bring, I guess maybe a journalist or someone with me to document the whole trip, and it's gonna be a big thing. It's gonna be from DC to Phoenix. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm not even gonna let you guys know when I show up.
Oh no!
I'm just gonna show up, knock on the door. You guys are gonna think it's some delivery person or something. Yeah, just leave it on the doorstep, and then I'll be like, I don't know if you want to leave that $100,000 car on the doorstep. I mean, I could drop in and throw the keys in Christine's hand and be like, and now mission accomplished. But no, the point is I'll have the whole documentation of having traveled cross country as a blind driver.
And the camera crew's like, so how are we gonna get home now without the car?
Tickets on me. Let's go to the airport, everyone.
Shout out to my mom, Christine, who is awesome.
We should have her on one of our episodes to talk about. We were having a little debate on a
She is a
filmed episode
TVI.
we did
If that'll
yesterday.
ever help anything.
Yeah, no, it was. We were having a debate yesterday about how to properly read Braille, and I was just like, Christine would be the best person to settle this debate right now.
Christine would know.
Luckily, we hadn't. Well, it's not luckily. We just decided not to upload that episode because it was a mess, and I was eating and snoring and everything. So it was not no boutique episode, but but yeah, we should let her know to join us one day. We'd love to have her. But yeah, so sugar. So the sugar
Oscar,
you had
can
put it on the
finish. Is that
stovetop.
your
Yeah, go
story?
ahead. Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, all I remember was a lot of people trying to like, hey, like, don't worry about it. I've done this in my life.
Yeah, that's what people were saying to me too. It's like,
We've all
thanks.
done it. We've all done it. I have done it multiple times.
Do you want to tell the
the
story
both of you
of
good-looking people how many times I've burned down some things.
Naeem, you heard my
like
story, right?
Yeah, I was there for that.
How I almost burned. You were not there.
No, I was there for this story.
Oh, I was like, you weren't there then.
No, I wasn't there. I
Excuse you.
wasn't in Mexico either. I was back here in DC at the time.
You
'cause
want
I
to
went
tell
to Mexico right after. Go ahead.
Do you want to tell the story of how you almost burned out my apartment off of one little egg?
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's really crazy. I have many stories, but I'll tell that one first because that one's definitely the one we hyped everyone up for. So it was like the middle of the night. It was like 10, 11 at night. And
I just made a pizza with bacon and all this other meat.
Yeah, he had made a really good pizza, but I was like, no, I want eggs. Like, you know how I'm always extra. You both know that about me. I'm like, no, I gotta go the extra mile. I gotta go the extra mile. So I'm like, yeah, like I want eggs. And Oscar's like, it's all yours if you want. Go ahead. It's 11 at night. Like,
it wasn't even 11. I think it was like 1 at night too.
It was pretty late. At night. God. And I remember Oscar was clearly not interested. I'm like, oh, let me make you some. He's like, no.
So, and rightfully so, because well, look at what happened next.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. So I go in the fridge, and somehow his eggs kind of froze.
What?
I don't know if you remember.
I don't know how.
Oscar.
I don't know.
I think the settings were too strong.
Yeah, I think the person that set the settings on my fridge had it too strong, and I never noticed.
Yeah, man, those eggs became hard. It was weird.
I didn't even know eggs could freeze. What?
Me neither.
Fudge sickles.
Wait, that's not a word. Me neither. Yeah, it was like, and it wasn't like fully like, it wasn't like a ball of ice, but when you crack it open, it's really hard. And when it falls out of into the pan, you can tell. Yeah, when it falls out of the shell and into the pan, you can tell the yolk. You hear the yolk clunk, so you can hear it's like.
And we used bacon grease too. I remember that.
Yeah,
like we didn't use anything else. Like we had like I had a whole bunch of like because I remember when you like cook pizza, like with bacon and stuff like that, you have to cook the bacon first.
Yeah,
So
so I went ahead and used his leftover bacon grease. And
Oh
I was like, all right,
God.
I'm gonna do this. Well, bacon grease makes eggs always taste good.
No, it
Um,
does. It's so good. Oh, unpopular opinion. I love a little bit of maple syrup on my scrambled eggs.
never tried
So
that
good.
before though.
It's
Never
so
I
tried
good.
that.
I love Tabasco sauce on my scrambled eggs. Some hot, spicy
I'm
attractiveness.
over here like, I like maple syrup. And he
Tabasco.
goes, I like the spiciest thing known to man on my eggs.
Tabasco. I don't like it because of the vinegar taste. That's the only reason
I
why I
love
don't like Tabasco.
vinegar.
Yeah,
Probably
you know what's
shouldn't
really good
admit
too? You
that,
gotta
but I
have
love
some
vinegar.
ghost pepper. Ghost pepper's real
No!
hot.
No! I don't want to die. I enjoy living.
I remember I had that. I remember I had ghost pepper once.
Oh yeah, and Chris Medley's pasta salad. Man, that guy was amazing. He used to make the best food ever. Always
In
spicy, always
Michigan,
on point. Yeah. Huh?
in Michigan, the people that we were staying with, my mom's best friend, her boyfriend was growing Carolina Reapers.
Oh, see, that's skill right there. That's skill right there. You know, my sister's growing a whole garden outside, tomatoes, peppers, jalapenos. I don't know what else she's growing.
Jalapeno.
She's just going wild outside. Well, that was not how I intended for.
We do not have green thumbs in our family. We cannot, except for my grandma. My grandma
My
can grow
my
it up.
my dad used to grow stuff.
I loved it
Yeah.
when Grandma had a garden because she had these gigantic rosemary bushes out front that I would always just pluck from.
Rosemary smells and tastes so good.
Doesn't it? And then
Uh,
she also had aloe plants, which I would constantly use.
But anyways, finish your burn story
Yes.
name so we can wrap this up and get off there.
Oh man, you guys and your whole wrap up. But anyway, I'll do this all night if y'all wanted me to. You know I will.
Okay.
Um,
I have no
so
life.
so
Oscar, do you have a
yeah,
life?
so
Kind of do.
kind of pre-COVID.
Do you have things to do for the rest of the night?
Probably
Text a
has an
friend
early
that,
rise.
by the way, a friend of ours, Naeem, just texted me now, and she apologized for not getting back to me earlier. So.
Oh, okay. Well, she don't have to apologize. That's the thing. I respect people who like to be curt and on time, but never stress about it. You know, it's like, it takes me forever to get back to folks, so I get it if
Same.
folks take forever to get back to me. So I welcome the apologies, but what I'd like more from an individual is for them to thank themselves and always remember that they are very much appreciated. So
You are such
yeah.
a hippie, Naeem.
You are. You
I really,
are.
it's easier that way, man. It's
It
easier that
is.
way.
It is. My
You
mom
know,
has called
but
me a hippie so many times, ever since I started college, and I'm like, college will do that to you, Mom. It'll turn you into a hippie.
I'm pretty sure she's had her hippie days. Well, I don't know if she has,
Yeah.
but we all go through that phase. Now it's just, are we going to
I
stay subscribed to it or not? I plan on staying subscribed. But
want to
And
be a hippie.
just finish your finish your burn story.
Yeah, finish
yeah,
your bird story.
so I'm sitting here like popping these eggs in this bacon
Bacon grease? Bacon? Are you okay? Oh my god, are you okay?
Clear your mind, Naeem. Naeem. Uh-oh.
Is he having a stroke?
Oh, hold on. Now I think he lost signal.
No. He was having trouble. Naeem!
Are you okay? Is that you?
That was him. He's tapping his phone. What is he trying to say? I don't know Morse code.
Neither do I. I thought that Morse code became irrelevant.
That sounded like SOS.
Either he's trying to type in the chat or he's trying to get rid of a message that's blowing up his phone. That's also another.
I don't think so.
Oh man.
Naeem, can you talk to me? Might want to stop recording. This is getting a little intense.
Naeem. Oh, yeah, something must have happened with the signal.
I hope that's what happened. It was
Yeah.
a signal thing. It literally sounded like he was doing the exact same tapping every time.
Hello?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Are you
Can
back
you hear
now?
us now?
Are you back?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You don't sound fine, my friend.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Okay, I'm fine.
Are you sure? That's a lot of I'm fines.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Should we get off there?
Yes.
All right. So, sorry, folks. We have to kind of end the recording abruptly. So, I'll leave us with this thought. Keep following the No Nonsense Podcast channel. Michaela, do you have any social media but you want to put up there? And if you do,
No.
please send. Okay, you're fine. Just keep. You can follow me at Oscar J Montiel 37. I'll put the stuff for our new Twitter handle as soon as I can.
I guess I could say Twitter. I'm at MFG Rocks, and my display name is Blue Coconut with a rainbow flag.
Please send me the link to that because.
How do you do that?
I'll show you how it's done just
Okay.
when we get off air. But
I don't know how Twitter links work.
Hey guys,
it's pretty
sorry
easy.
about that.
All right.
If you guys want to resume, I just had a little sync fee.
Yeah, I
Now
can
think.
tell. Are you okay? No.
I think so, yeah. I don't know. Do you guys want to resume or?
Well, we were about to wrap up because of that. I don't know.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
We were about to wrap up because
Because we could tell that you were kind of.
because something was going on. Yeah.
So it's your choice.
It is at this point.
Okay. I mean, what were we talking about?
You were telling your burn story with the eggs.
Oh yeah, that's right. The eggs and the bacon. Yeah, sure. I guess I could tell that real quick as I regain clarity. Sorry for that. I wasn't expecting that. Haven't had a syncope
That's
thing in a
okay.
while.
That's okay. We don't have to continue.
No, I should be fine. I think. I should have seen the signs earlier. I wasn't like so coherent at some points.
I could see the
but yeah.
signs. I just wasn't saying anything.
Mm.
Sometimes I know.
So, I was in Oscar's apartment. I was with Oscar, and we were hanging out. He had made a really nice pizza of his own.
Yes, the bacon pizza. We got to the part where you
Yeah.
started to put
You were
the
cracking
hard
the frozen
eggs
eggs.
into the pan with the bacon grease.
Yeah, and I started cooking the eggs, and everything was good. I could tell something was off because, the yolks were they were stubbornly firm. And then just like, you start hearing the massive pops, pop, 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 pop. So you can tell the water from the melting water from the egg, because it was frozen, was joining with the grease from the bacon. And grease fires, the only thing that makes grease fires worse than they already are is water.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it starts to pop on my arm, and I could feel the grease, and I'm like, okay,
You were
this
like,
is gonna get out of hand.
No, yeah,
So
exactly. And then you start whistling, and I'm like, dude, like, what's going on? And you're like, I remember this. It was like this. I'm like, Naeem, like, what's going on? And then I realized, I'm like, oh, crap. And I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
I think it was
I'm
because
like, it's and my thought was it's baking soda time, and I literally went throughout, like I literally ripped open a box of baking soda, and I kid you not, Michaela and folks, all of it to extinguish
Oh my
that fire.
god!
it was getting large. I remember it was
That's
getting large, and
insane!
I stepped back because it had already grease burned my arm at
Yeah,
this point. So I was just like stepping back.
I don't know how I pulled it off where I shut that grease fire down without any help in alerting.
Yeah, that's
Storm stuff.
amazing. Go you.
Yeah,
And
I just walked away with a burned arm.
And I used baking powder for extra measure too. I was like,
So, duly noted. Baking soda helps to get rid of grease fires. That is not a thing I knew, and I now know.
oh no, I didn't know that either until like when I moved into the IL apartment, and I was asking the instructors, I'm like, what should I have, in case of emergencies, or or like baking tools, or like you should have this, and this. Oh, and by the way, baking soda is also good to have, but not just for cooking and baking, but just for putting out fires if anything were to happen. And in my mind was, yeah, that's never gonna happen, But little did I know that
It
actually
totally did.
happened.
Oh my gosh. That's
Yeah.
nuts.
It was wild because I've had fires before I had to put out, but that was my first experience with the grease fire. I know, like, there was
Grease fires are ugly.
one time, and I think I was like 11, 12. I was playing with my dad's lighter. I don't know how I found his lighter, and I didn't know he had lighters, but anyway,
This story doesn't end well.
it doesn't at all. And I'm like, what does this thing do? Just a curious kid.
Oh no.
And I start like it makes a flicking noise, and I like it. And I could see the light coming out of it. I'm like, oh, this is fun, man. And then I start hearing crackling because I'm standing like on his desk of papers, like business papers, like important stuff. And I'm sitting here like, like just going to town, bro. And I just end up burning down the whole thing. It's crazy.
Oh
like
my
everything. And then I call my dad because I'm like, at this point, shit, I'm in trouble. But at the same time, I'm not trying to not trying to burn the place down. So I'm like,
yeah, right.
And if I remember correctly, this wasn't even at the house office. This was in his office at the pizza restaurant he had owned at the time, the pizzeria. So I'm sitting here. I don't know what I burned. Probably important documents for the restaurant, for the accountant.
Probably. Oh no.
But man, he was pissed. Like, oh dear man.
I would have been too as a parent. Just saying.
Was like, he was like, and what the hell do you think you are doing? He was mad. I tell y'all, good looking folks, he was mad. Like, man, it's like out of this world mad. Like, I've seen my dad mad a couple times, but no, that was a whole different level of mad. I was like, whoa, okay, so what's that device? He's like, that's a lighter. If he was a little more foul-mouthed, I'm pretty sure he would have called me something, but luckily he didn't. He was like, this is a lighter.
But anyway.
But yeah, it was a good time. But I'll tell you, the one thing I would like to say about my parents is they always kept it real with me. Like, when I do something, they make me get up off my rear and clean it up. When I was like 10 and 11 and 6 and 7, every time I'd make a mess, you best believe my mom would shout, man. She'll be like, Naeem, you get your ass here right now. You clean this up.
Like the time that you divulged in on your own personal journey, weight loss journey, or whatever it was called. Man, that was...
Oh, you should watch that episode, Michaela.
Yeah, Michaela, but make sure you don't
eat before you watch it. Don't eat before you watch it. It's pretty graphic. But I basically explain how I've gone from like 220, 230 to whatever 100 million pounds I was, not million, but 100.
No, it went from him being like to like from being like mini like semi skinny or like
I was like
sem-
180. I was average in senior
to
year
like
of high
chunky
school.
to like like
Large.
humongous to where you saw him in Arizona. So
Yeah.
how he dropped those pounds real fast.
And for all
That's
those who are
crazy.
interested, I weighed in yesterday and I am exactly 160 right now.
Yeah.
160 pounds. So I'm feeling really good. Overall health wise, I'm feeling good. I haven't had, well, I take that
Any
back. I
more
just had a
coronavirus?
syncope.
But I guess we can wrap it up because Naeem, if you have another mini attack on our episode, it will not look
Right.
good on our
Yeah.
resume.
No. So
It
I
will-
typically, I guess to disclaimer for everyone, I have occasional vasovagal syncope where I basically lose a little blood pressure and blood sugar balance, and I kind of lose
Are you
consciousness.
sure you ate enough, man, or you drank enough water?
I did some of that. Now maybe what it could have been is because I haven't had pizza and soda in a while. Maybe that wasn't a good combo. I don't know, or maybe the fact that I stayed up really late last night. Or a
Syncope
combination
has
of the two.
its all kinds of reasons.
Triggers, yeah, there are all kinds of triggers. So something had happened. I haven't had a syncope episode in a long while, thanks to dropping those pounds, I'd like to think. But this was definitely, I don't know how long it lasted, but it felt like a stronger one because I have a little looming headache. But
It
other
was a
than
bit
that,
of a stronger one. You were like tapping SOS at us.
Yeah. Yeah, you were tapping on your phone, and I actually thought that you were writing messages or whatever.
And I thought you were tapping SOS.
I think maybe that's how, because when I came back, I found that I was not on the call anymore. So
Yeah.
I don't know what had happened. But anyway, for folks, I do apologize for that. That's the advantage of going live, I guess. But y'all, everything's good, and yeah, all is well. So I don't know. Is there more we want to cover, or do you want to go off air?
We'll go off there.
All right. Well,
So
go ahead.
I guess we already put our disclaimers again. Oscar J Montiel 37 on Twitter. My YouTube channel is inactive until I find things to post on there. So
I
but
just
always,
started YouTubing again. I'm so happy.
yeah. You can always follow our No Nonsense podcast channel. Starting up the Twitter page. Just gotta get more new followers now. That's the bummer that I have to start following people so they can follow us back. Yay.
I will say I'm going to start getting active on my channel myself. I want to do lots of story time type things, talk about adventures in the life of an Arab. I don't know. But just have a good time.
I love that.
And
No,
just
for
the casual vlogs. Nothing too wild. So soon I'll be on YouTube, and once I am, I'll let y'all know. So
I'm
look
over
out for
here
that.
doing
And then
self-accompanied song covers.
that is so cool. All right, I'll have to check you out. Check you out on YouTube if I ever get my YouTube app back up and running. But
where can they contact you though, Naeem, for the time being?
all right, I love sharing intellectual discourse with folks. I love to get into the nitty and gritty of fun. So shoot me an email. That's the best way we can get the conversation started. Shoot me an email and we can chat about anything. If you want to chat about food, if you want to chat about politics, if you want to chat about going to Hawaii. I do look forward to going to Hawaii. I haven't been yet, so y'all let me know where to check out. But email me at nm like New Mexico, ABUELHAWA @gmail.com. Once again, that's NMABUE, B as in boy, UELHAWA @gmail.com, NM @gmail.com, and that will be linked to also my YouTube channel once I get that all set up. Unless I decide to go a different route and set up a different email for that, but that's where you guys can reach me for now. And reach out, man. Like I was telling Oscar and Michaela earlier, I don't bite. So come by, say hello.
Michaela, I guess you can repeat your Twitter handle.
Okay. My Twitter handle is @MFGRocks. My display name is Blue Coconut with the pride flag Heck yeah. And my YouTube I don't even know what my YouTube channel is called anymore.
Oh, by the way, I found out if you need to get the link for the YouTube, that's easier to get, but I can tell you that off air. But
Yeah, I know how to get the link to YouTube. I just don't know how to get the link to a Twitter.
oh, yeah, I'll tell you how to do it. But anyways, folks, this was the No Nonsense podcast. Again, letting you guys know that we probably won't be live for a while. Again, probably. Hopefully August 7th, but if not, August 9th will be our next. Oh, wait, I forgot. We need to go live for my mic presentation, Naeem.
Yeah, your mic unboxing. Yeah, totally. We got to do that. For sure. Yeah.
But other than that, we probably won't go live this week, but just stay tuned. We'll probably post little snippets on our podcast on anchor.fm, probably, maybe. But until then, guys, this was the No Nonsense. We will see you guys next time.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you all. Take care.